What's going on, my good people? What's going on? We in the building. Just a small little delay, as my dog Willie Jack would say. You know what I'm saying? Just a small little delay, but we here. We here now, baby. So y'all ain't got a choice. Tune on in. Y'all know what time it is. Here my dog. Bring my dog on in here right now.
Yeah, there we go.
We in here now,
There
man.
it
Willie
is.
Jack, what's the word, man?
Yeah, man. Nah, all good, all good. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was sitting around. I was like, "Hey, man, Chop ain't called me yet. Look, what time is it? My alarm went off. It was six
Oh
fifty
man.
five. I'm like, oh man, hold on, what's going on?
Just a small delay, bro. Ain't nothing too
It's all
big. You know what I'm
good. Hey,
saying? We
hey, it
here.
happened.
You know what I'm saying? We was just around the corner. We wasn't far. You know what I'm saying? We was
Hey,
just
they
around
know
the
what's
corner.
going on.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just right around the corner.
Yeah,
Y'all know what's
yeah. So
going
we
on.
we just needed to grab a couple things. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was already situated and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But on the way to the crib, me and Willie just had to grab some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we
Hey,
back
that's
in
all
here,
it was.
back at it. You know what I'm saying? Like we never left.
That's all it was.
Like we never left. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna do what we always do, man. So without further ado, Willie Jack, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna waste no more of their time, man. So
Hey, let's
right
do
now,
it.
without further ado, man, welcome to another episode of Let the Film Speak. I am one of your hosts, Chop. Here with my main man, Willie Jack, man. And y'all know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna give you what we always give y'all today. Of course, we're gonna follow up on what we started with y'all last week, man. We did a little bit of we did the entire NFC. We did overs and unders, man. And this today we're gonna
Yep.
jump into the AFC. We're gonna jump into those numbers. We're gonna talk about them. Let y'all know what we think over, what we think under. You know what I'm saying? Where we at with this? So we're gonna jump into that, and then you know what I'm saying? Let you know where we think. But before we do that, you know how we got to do it, man. We always start y'all off with a little bit of news, man. And we just got some breaking
For
news
sure.
right before the we got on live, man. And it's some tragic news, unfortunately, man. Former Cowboys running back Marion Barber was found dead in his house at the age of 38, man. The cause of his death is unknown. I do know that they said that there was they was doing a welfare check because they got a call because of a water leak or something like that. So
Mm.
they forced their way in to find him dead in his house, man. So rest in peace to Marion Barber, man. My condolences to him, to his family, to his friends, to everybody around him, man. My condolences out to
Sure.
them, man. Sending prayers that way, man, for sure.
No, yeah, and man, like you said, man, tragic news, man, for when anybody passes for sure. But a young guy, man, 38 years old, uh, man, like you said, you can't take any of these days for granted, man. So very young guy, man. Condolences to his family for sure, family and friends, close loved ones. Uh, man, definitely remember his days in Dallas, man. Dude was a load, man. Dude was one of those guys. Man, when you talk about blue collar, man, nose to the grindstone. You know what I'm saying? A throwback bruiser. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely was a fun guy to watch, man. A guy you couldn't help but cheer for. So definitely sad to hear that news for sure.
For sure, for sure, and it just seems like it's so much going on, man. I know everybody been hearing about it, and we didn't talk about it last week, man. But it's what's going on in the world, man. And I care. I know a lot of y'all care. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, that watch this show got kids. It's real. You got full girls of your own. You know what I'm saying? And to hear a lot of the things that's been going on just around the world in general, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, man. You never know. Gotta be safe out here. Gotta watch yourselves. But man, it's a lot going on, and my prayers and condolences, from and I can pretty sure I can say from Let the Film Speak go out to all these different families and that have lost a child. You know what I'm saying? In these schools, and just a lot of things going on, man. So our
For
condolences
sure.
go out to those people for sure, man. But sticking with the NFL, like I said before, man, more unfortunate news. Former first round pick of the Vikings, Jeff Gladney, was killed in a car accident a few days ago, man. He was 25 years young,
Mm.
so my condolences go out to him and his family and friends. He was going into this season. It's going to be his second year. I mean, not second year, I'm sorry. But it was going to be his second team. He was going to get ready to get a fresh start with Arizona, and get him a shot and play ball with them. I know he was a you were definitely you were definitely a fan of his coming out of TCU.
No,
You know, I heard you talk a lot about him too.
oh, my bad, y'all. My bad. But no, I definitely remember watching him coming out. I remember when I watched him coming out, he's a guy that, like, I told you to go check out his film. If you remember, because he had some real dog in him, man. You know what I mean? So very feisty and fiery guy, man. He played at TCU down here in Fort Worth. So yeah, definitely down here in my area. I stay in Dallas, if y'all don't know. So DFW, man, the Metroplex, he played right up the road. Played on the same team, came out in the same draft class, played on the same team as Jalen Rager, receiver with the Eagles. They put a couple guys in the league from that same team. They had a D tackle, I think something Blaylock or something like that, got drafted by the Texans.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name, but so it was a pretty good team and squad for TCU that year, man. And he was definitely probably the best of that bunch coming out that year. It didn't work out in Minnesota for whatever reason, man. But yeah, was going to Arizona. And like I said, was excited to see if he can get himself on track or get going to, reach the heights that I had hoped for him when I was watching him come in. So, but like I said, man, sad I have to say, very sad to hear this news, man. 25 years young, man. So, like I said, another guy, man, full life ahead of him, man. So, definitely sad news, man. Condolences to his parents and family as well.
For sure. Mom stepped in. Say-So stepped in. Jarrell, what's going on? Big
What's
Larry,
going
what's going on with y'all, man? Travis, how y'all doing? Just want to shout y'all out real quick. Saw y'all jumped in the building. Appreciate y'all for joining us right now.
Sure.
We jump into some more of this news, man. But on to some more positive type things, man. Let's move on. And we're gonna start with the Steelers, man. And I know this was some news Willie Jack wasn't too happy with, man. But defensive end Stephon Tuitt announced his retirement, and he will no longer be a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. Willie, talk to me, man. Tell me how you feel about this one, man.
Yeah, man. Joe Foe in the building. What's going on, Coach? But yeah, man, it's he had stepped away from the team last year. His brother had passed, man, and it took a real big toll on him. He had kind of had a couple injuries injuries derailed the last couple seasons for him, and he was really kind of stepping into his own, man. Like the last season, I want to say that he was really on the field. Started out super hot, and I think he tore his I want to say he tore his pec after like the first 4 or 5 or maybe 6 games. Missed that, missed the rest of that season. I think he had just came back off of another kind of injury hampered year as well. And then his brother dies tragically, and so he took a year away from the game, man. In that time, went back. We drafted him out of Notre Dame in the 2nd round. In that time, went back to Notre Dame, got his degree, and it sounds like he's just he's just ready for that next phase of his life, man. 29 years old, still a very young guy. Still has his health. He took his lumps like everybody will, playing in that league for sure. But for the most part, man, a guy that still has his health, man. And like I said, he gave the game everything he could, and like I said, he's ready for his next phase in life, man. So nothing but congratulations for him, man. Nothing but appreciation for what he did for my black and gold. You know what I mean? But we definitely gonna be sad to see him leave, man. We'll miss him.
Yeah, and I second that, man. And he was really the perfect fit to that defensive line unit. You know what I'm saying? That with Cameron Hayward and TJ Watt, you know what I'm saying, and those guys, man, he fit in perfectly, man. He did his job. He did his job well. You know what I'm saying? He did what they needed to do, and he helped that defense, be one of the, more solid defenses and more consistent defenses in the NFL, especially up front. So kudos to him, man. Definitely think he's in a different headspace, and I think that this could be great for him, man. We are selfishly as fans, we always want to see some of our favorite players and some of the players that are really good play a little bit longer. We want to see them play until they can't play it no more. But a lot of times, just thinking about it realistically, mentally, from a person who's played the game of football, man, it's hard on you, man. It's hard on you. And sometimes you just got to do what's better for yourself and your family. These guys got to work hard. They spend hours and hours and days and weeks away from their family sometimes. So it's important for them to – it's important for the mental health. Mental health is important. So kudos.
And honestly, man, and one last thing real quick on that, man. The good thing about, I guess, players today, the advantage that players today have that players in yesteryear probably didn't have is the money now, it is so much greater. And so, and y'all already know how we get down, man. We love to see it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get in the bag, man. Don't matter how we feel about you personally as a player, man. We in favor of every player getting paid for sure. And we love to see it. And so these days, guys are able to make that choice to choose their health over having to stick around and maybe play those last 2-3 years that you didn't want to or really physically couldn't have played. But you know what I'm saying, you're not as set away financially. You know what I'm saying? A boxer that hangs on too long. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to see Ali in those last 4 fights. Nobody wanted to see Joe Louis in those last 5-6 fights. You know what I mean? Nobody wanted to see, so those are just examples and they're boxing examples. But just my point is that you know what I'm saying, sometimes guys are on the other side of that coin where they stick around a little too long because maybe the money, they didn't get a chance to make as much money as the guys do now, to where, like you said, you could choose your health. You could be Luke Kuechly, an all-time great at the position, a top 3 guy at the position. You talking to me, you know what I'm saying? Who gets to choose himself and walk away at the age of 30. You know what I'm saying? Chris Borland, another guy, man, linebacker from Wisconsin. Now, he
Patrick
wasn't
Willis.
had the pedigree.
Patrick
Oh,
Willis.
there we go.
Calvin
Patrick Willis,
Johnson.
another one of those guys.
Barry
30,
Sanders.
31 years old. Calvin Johnson, 30 years old. Barry Sanders back in the day. You know what I mean? So 30 years old. Jim Brown even before that. But that's a different point I'm making. But for the most part, like I said, guys didn't always have the luxury to be able to do that. And guys today do. And that's for the better. You know what I mean? So it'd be worse to stay and stick around when your heart's not in it, because that's how you get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, if your mind is anywhere else outside of what you're supposed to be doing when you between the lines, boy, hey, that's how people get hurt and get hurt bad. And so, yeah, man. So take that time away, man. Came back, decided to step away. Hey, more power to you, brother. Good luck.
Mother-in-law in the building. What's going on, mother-in-law? How you doing? But
What's going on? What's going on?
man.
Allred in the building. Hey, Trav, man, what's going on, man? My dog, Travis Allred.
Yeah.
Stop through and holler at your dogs, man. Long time, my boy.
But speaking of the bag, and this is a very interesting bag. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm going to jump into it, man. Cleveland Browns tight end David Njoku was tagged, but is now signed a 4-year, $56.75 million deal that includes $28 million in guarantees. Willie, I think you need to cue it up. I think you should cue it, bro.
Hey, somebody, hey, man, cue Alexa, man. Get paid. Get paid, get paid. This is what's funny about that is Njoku, when he was coming in, he was one of those guys, man, that fit the trend of man, now I can't think of his name. Old boy from Davis. Is it Vontae Davis?
Vontae Davis,
the tight end from San Francisco?
Vontae Davis, yeah.
Yeah, so remember when Vontae Davis came in, he was like a physical marvel. 6'4", 250, had 0.2 body fat, ran 4'4". So we had him. Then you had there was a guy that went to Tennessee out of South Carolina, built like that. And Njoku was supposed to be like the next tight end in that mold. And if you look at him, he's jacked. You know what I mean? He's that kind of guy. But it never really hit or panned out all the way in Cleveland for whatever reason. And then a couple years ago in free agency, they go out and they sign Austin Hooper from Atlanta to a big free agent contract. And but they wouldn't do that. And it was looking like Njoku was going to be gone or out of there. He asked for a trade. They talked him into staying, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, 2 years later, now Austin Hooper's gone. And now they're giving Njoku that bag that they gave Hooper 2 years ago.
And look, they also drafted Harrison Bryant, too. They drafted the tight end the same year they brought Austin Hooper over there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's the thing. That's just the timing and how that worked. You know what I'm saying? Especially because they broke bread now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Big Juice in the building, man. Oscar, what's going on, man? Oscar Jawine, man, what's going on, bro? That's Big Juice, man. Y'all remember? Yeah, you might remember Big Juice was seeing you. What's going on, man?
I remember Big Juice.
Hey, Tom T's in this thing, man. My dog Skinny in this thing, man. Skinny broke that news for Marion Barber, or he broke it for me. That's where I seen it first. Shout out to Real Deal STL Sports in the building. And look at my dog already in here dropping names. Yeah, get Black in here, man. We talking AFC football. Tell Gil y'all to get on in here, man. Check in. But no, it's just weird to see the timing of how that happened. Because if you think about it, how many players get passed over by a team and then stick it out, and then they come back around the second time and actually break the bag. You know what I'm saying? So that's just an odd timeline of how that happened. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this: is he worth that? Is he worth that 4-year, 56 over 56.5 million?
Well, the thing about that I'll say is I always want to see a player get paid. Now,
that ain't what I asked.
That aside, I want to establish that.
Okay. I got you.
That money, I think, makes him the third highest. Did he set fourth? So that makes him the fourth highest paid tight end in the league. And now does his I don't want to disrespect a brother that just got paid, just period. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't consider him a top 5 guy at the position, honestly. I mean, I don't think he's a top 10 guy at the position, honestly. I think there's 3 big names that we know. Kelsey Kittle, Mark Andrews for me are the top 3. You got Darren Waller at 4 for me. Off the top of my head, Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz are still right there at 5 and 6. You got TJ Hawkinson in Detroit, the young kid. What's that? That's 7.
Dalton Schultz played better than him.
Dalton Schultz played good in Dallas last year. You damn right he did. Robert Tonyan's been kind of solid as far as touchdown production goes to Green Bay. I mean, so like I said, I mean, now once we start getting no offense, the young guy in Denver got traded to San Francisco with the Drew Lock deal. He's another guy that started to come on as well. So I mean, now maybe you can spice his name in there in that mix with this last little group we mentioned.
Kyle Pitts. But if we dig in,
he already a top 10 guy.
If we dig in, he ain't 10, bro. If we
So
right now, somebody maybe to try to fool us a little bit, but nah, you're right. He's not a top 10 tight end.
Yeah, I don't think he's a top 10 guy, but also, but like I said, I like the signing. And I like the signing by Cleveland because of the kind of what we said. They overlooked him. They asked him to stay. He stuck it out and thugged it out with the team, and then they came back around and made it right. They came back around and broke bread. So I just like how it played out and how that situation played. Now, business-wise, you know what I'm saying, we'll see if the dollars make sense. You know what I'm saying? If him and Deshaun Watson by 2024, when they get to play together, you know what I'm saying, like maybe they light it up. We don't know. But yeah, I'm always in favor of seeing these guys get paid, though, for sure. Cooper Jones in the building, too. What's going on, my dog?
Facts. And then lastly in the news today, man, we got the former Bears defensive tackle Akeem Hicks. He signs a 1-year deal worth up to $10 million with the Bucs. And I'm gonna tell you what this means for me. That means Ndamukong Suh is gone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you another thing that means. Come on home. I got you. Last time my dog Aaron Donald got 20 sacks, you know who was playing right next to him?
Yeah, I know. I definitely know. I tell you who what. Yeah, I definitely know who was beside him.
Yeah, so he can come on home. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Hicks is 32, man. Still, I think he still has something left in the tank. Just has to stay healthy, man. I think he definitely, like I said before. Now, Suh is definitely tough. You know what I'm saying? So, but Akeem Hicks is nice too. You know what I'm saying? So, as I said before, I mean, it's already tough running on the Tampa Bay defense, but. You know, you can forget about it. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely forget about it. You probably used to forget about it as well. But with my boy Vita Vea over there, sitting right there in the middle, ready to eat up 2 or 3 boxes every play, and then you got those linebackers filling behind him. It don't even matter, bro. It don't even matter. So, but what you think about the signing though, Willie?
No, I like the signing as well, man. I'm not sure what the deal was between them and Suh, man. So I don't know why because Suh wants to come back, but the talk was that they were looking to replace him in the draft. They were talking about that they wanted to get less of it. They already got a big enough body with Vita Vea, so they were looking to get a complement style of like 5-tech or 4-eye player that can add more to the pass rush. Akeem Hicks isn't necessarily that player. I mean, maybe at this stage, and he's an older player as well. Now, maybe he's a year or 2 younger than Suh, but he's still an older player, and his best pass ratio days are behind him as well. He was always similar to Suh. He was always more of a powerful run stopping presence anyway. And so if they were looking to, you know, change up the dynamic between the people on the line, they don't really do that with Hicks. And so then my question is, well, if you've got Suh who's familiar with the system, knows the players, then I would imagine unless Suh priced himself out, I don't know what money he was asking for, but I wonder why they just didn't bring him back if you go get Hicks. But I do like Hicks. Definitely he made his mark in Chicago. He was kind of banged up the last couple of years, but definitely made his mark in Chicago, so I do like the move though, as far as the player. But no, and you know what? Bringing Suh back to LA, man, that's not a bad idea at all. TJ Detweiler slid in the building. What's going on? But he said, yeah, Suh in games next to AD. Yeah, hey, I can see it, man. Don't make no sense. Don't make no sense not to.
That'll be the one for us, because it'll get real ugly up front on that defense, specifically because one, now you got that run guy, that run defender that you need to help with that defense, because that was one of the areas that we struggled a little bit in, especially against a team like the 49ers. You know what I'm saying? You go get Suh specifically for the 49ers. We're going to see him a couple times a year no matter what. So we bring him over, and then you got that guy behind him that can really eat. You know what I'm saying? I remember back in Ray Lewis's heyday. You know what I'm saying? It was one of people probably don't remember, but he was talking
They
about.
don't. Hey, I'm gonna say,
them guys.
yeah. They don't know about Tony Saragusa. You know what I'm saying? They don't know about, you know what I'm saying? They don't know about the old school Ray. They don't know about the Goose, man.
They don't know about Goose.
Hey, they don't know about those
but
days,
there was a time period where people like to call it Ray Lewis down years, but he had them big hogs in front of him clogging up their lane. You know what I'm saying? You had them big hogs in front of you that freed Ray Lewis up to go left to right, sideline to sideline, fill those gaps the way he needed to. That's why they went and said, you know what? We need to go get that guy for him. Let's go get Haloti Nada. You know what I'm saying? Let's go get him and bring him back over here. But
now, hold on. Here's the question:
bringing Sue over there too, and already having Bobby Wagner, I agree with you. That do look nasty. But go ahead.
Now here's the thing as well, because y'all also you're putting the cart above the horse a little bit. Where it is, AD don't even know if he coming back yet. Somebody owe AD a check and he waiting on it.
I
don't know.
I just listened to the interview too. The whole thing. You 100% right, but he coming back. You know what I'm saying? Because he also threw in there. Bobby Wagner is a huge reason that they brought him over is because of what AD brought. AD ain't finna call Bobby Wagner over here to come over and come play with him and just leave him hanging like that.
Hey,
and we gonna give him his bread. We gonna give if that be
that's what I'm saying. Break that bread then.
They gonna break
because what the next guy up. He gonna need 30 M's. He gonna need 30 M's because he ain't coming back for nothing less than the number one defensive paid player in the league. Right now, that guy is, you know what I'm saying, the best player in the league, TJ Watt. So he's not gonna come back in. He's not coming back for $1 less than TJ Watt. He's gonna reset the market, and that number is gonna be 30 M's, bro. If he do it,
I give him just under 30. I give him 28. I give him 28.
That's less than TJ. He ain't taking less than TJ.
That's cool. That's cool.
He ain't taking less than TJ.
I still think they still play slightly different positions. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, he's not taking less than TJ. That's what I'm saying. Because the guys on the top like that, they just look for highest paid defensive player. He ain't worried about the position. He wants to be the highest paid player on defense.
And if he do though, this other part of it, if he do, hey, he deserve it. You know what I'm saying? He's in the conversation. People put him in the conversation as one of the best defensive players to play ever. You know what I'm saying?
No,
that's worthy of it to me, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Who's this dude? Before I kick him out the group, who is this? Before he gets booted, who's TJ Detweiler? Who homeboy is this, man? Somebody get your dog, man. Somebody get your man. Is that your man?
Talk to him.
Hey, get your man's dog. Get your man's dog. He in the tripping, bro.
He the best player in the league. He talking to you right.
Hey, I don't know, man. Somebody get your man's dog. Somebody get your man.
You see what he said? yeah. What you talking about? I don't know what you thought this was.
Hey, somebody get your man's dog. Hey, your man's tripping, dog. But anyway, your man's wild.
But anyway, man. To wrap it up, I would like to move Willie Jack, but let's go ahead and jump into some of these, man. We on the AFC today. We're gonna jump into the AFC. But before I let you jump into it, I gotta set you up. You know what I'm saying? This time, you know what I'm saying? I did the Wade to LeBron last time. This time, I think I want to drive to the rack. Give me some old school, some Chris Paul to.
The Blake, what's it, 2015 Blake?
Yeah, 2015 some Chris Paul to Blake. Unless you want to be DeAndre Jordan, let me know.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, boy. What DeAndre Jordan did, was it Brandon Jennings or whoever?
Hey,
look,
he got ugly for that boy.
Hey, I don't know if he played a game after that. He probably did, but in my mind, his career ended that day. But nevertheless, shout out to the sponsorship, man. Shout out to the sponsorship, man. I tell y'all every week, man. You see, me and Chop, we sitting here on your screen, bro. We got lights in the background. The bills is paid, and that's all due to the sponsorship, man. That's the three amigos, man. That's like, that's share, that's subscribe. The three amigos. That's three the hard way. That's a 3-piece spicy. Like, share, subscribe. We tell y'all every week. It's a 4-pronged process. That's just step number 1. You got to like, share, subscribe. They get you in the line, but they don't get you in the dough. Then you got to tell a friend. We tell y'all every time. Don't stop at square number 1. Go on to step number 2. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. That ain't enough either, though.
Talk to
because then you got to tell your friend to tell a friend. That's step number 3. How many steps I said? I said 4 steps. Right now, you on step number 3. Baseball got 4 bases. You on scoreless. You go all the way around, my boy. You understand me? Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell your friend to tell his friend. And then you got to tell your friend's friend to tell his partner to come on, because everybody is welcome here at Let the Film Speak. You feel me? Like, share, subscribe. How the 3 amigos? That's 3 the hard way. It's a 3-piece spicy. Tell your friend. Tell your friend to tell his friend. Tell your friend's friend to tell his partner. Everybody come on. Rock with your dogs at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays afternoons, because this is what we do, bro. It's what we do. We right here. We give it to you how you want it. And if you don't want to have it give it to you, it's too bad, because that's the way we get it. Now back to the regularly scheduled programming, my boy.
Hey, I appreciate you, Willie. Thanks for letting everybody know, man. Now, hey, y'all follow them directions, man. Like, share, and subscribe it, man. Share it, man.
For sure.
We talk. Y'all know what we do. We talk football. That's what we do. But let's jump into this AFC, man. And last week we did overs and unders. And for the new people that's in here, that's what we gonna tell y'all what the line say. And this is the Vegas line. You know what I'm saying? Tell you what the Vegas line say, or where the teams projected wins are, and we're gonna tell you if the team is gonna go over or under those win totals. You know what I'm saying? So let's start off with the AFC South, Willie Jack. Let's go.
Let's do
AFC South, man. And the team I want to talk about first is the team that finished top of their division, man. Let's go with the Tennessee Titans, man. They got their over under wins at 9.5. Willie Jack, tell me what they're gonna do. Is it gonna be over? Is it gonna be under? Tell me why.
I got you. Oh, little cutting in here. Ashley, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through and holler at your cousin. Appreciate you. But nah, man, I'm not gonna lie, man. For me, well, Tennessee for one, I hated their draft. I hated their offseason as a whole. You got rid of a young top 10 receiver stepping into his prime. You replaced them with a very raw prospect who the only similarity is their body type. I just didn't like what they did there at all. I'm going under, man. I think Tennessee takes a step back. And the reason I say that, for one, now you've still got Derrick Henry. We know what he is. Now he did before he got hurt last year, was on the tear. Maybe was going to go back-to-back 2,000. He was on pace to do so, or to get damn close to doing it. Gets hurt, does come back for the playoff run, but like I said, I mean, it still wasn't. It just still wasn't himself, and that team wasn't. And so it put a lot of the onus to win and carry that team on Ryan Tannehill. And this is Ryan Tannehill with A.J. Brown, and just completely couldn't get it done against the Bengals. Just couldn't. Now, in the second half, he did pick it up, and he made some throws. A.J. Brown made him look real good, but he just didn't have it. So now I see the similar thing. I see that a same or similar team coming back, except now you're devoid of weapons on the outside. Now you bring over Robert Woods, who's coming off injury, but even still, that doesn't fill the hole that's left by a true number one receiver in A.J. Brown. And honestly, I think I see them taking a step back, and so I'm going under for that reason. Now, the under was 9.5, so essentially, is it 10 wins or 9 wins? So I would think they're closer to 9 wins than they are to 10. So I'll take the under.
Gotcha. And Tom's
Hey,
in there, he say 9. And then TJ comes in, he says AJ make him look better more than he made the throws. So
exactly. That's exactly my point. Lamar, what's going on with you, bro? My cousin Lamar in the building.
And as we go through,
Tom got the under as well at 9.
My guys that's in here, as we go through them, feel free, man. Throw your numbers in there. How many wins you think they're gonna get? It's gonna be over and under.
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead and drop them in there with us. But Willie Jack, for a lot of the reasons you said, I do think they take a step back. But last year they finished 12-5. That was a 12-5 team. Mm-hmm. And I do think they take a step back, but I don't think it's that tremendous of a step. I do think they fall to the second best team in this division, but I think they can do that at 10 wins. 10-6, or 10-7. 10-7 actually, because it's 17 games.
Yeah.
10-7 is, I think, a win total where I can see them getting to. And the reason why is because, one, the defense is getting a little bit better. The defense has been improving. They had one of the better safeties in the league, if not the best safety in the league last year. Mm-hmm. And then what's my defensive tackle name, man?
Justin Simmons.
Justin Simmons mm-hmm. had a phenomenal year as well. Those linebackers are coming mm-hmm. along. You're also going to get the second year for your boy coming out of Virginia Tech, the corner, who showed to be.
Caleb Farley. Yeah, man. He had all the raw tools, and like I said, he just got to learn to play the game. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, see if he can stay healthy and see what he does.
Yeah, so with that being said, I think the defense is one of the main reasons. I think they still can come more than be over 9.5. And then you still got Derrick Henry. We all know what Derrick Henry does, and we all say the same thing each and every year. They giving him the ball, and for some reason, teams still can't do nothing with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator or who's ever calling those plays and coming up with those schemes, who's doing a wonderful job. And matter of fact, I'm gonna give him credit. It has to be a part of that is a part of the reason why Derrick Henry is still able to be successful even when everybody knows he's getting the ball. But this is a different team when he's playing. You know what I'm saying? He makes Tannehill better. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like that because of the defense, they still come out on top, but they do take a step back, as you said, from their 12 wins to 10 wins.
Now another thing I did want to say that I forgot to mention is the offensive line is also going to take a step back. Taylor Lewan, he had a down year last year. Honestly, he opened up the year giving up 5 sacks to Chandler Jones. If y'all remember, week 1, Chandler Jones went crazy, and all of them against Taylor Lewan, who by and large has been a top 5-10 left tackle his entire career. So he took a step back. Also, they lose Roger Saffold at guard, and I think they may be down another offensive lineman as well. So I think that offensive line has got some new faces in new places and just getting older. I know Tyler DeWine, he's about my age. You know, so he's about 32, 33, 34. He's somewhere right there in the mix, which isn't an old guy, but it's old. It's NFL old, and a guy who like I said took a step back last year. So now, not to say that he can't rebound and be a great player still, but still, you know what I'm saying. Some of these players are starting to crest that hill, and now these guys are creeping down slowly but surely. So I think the offensive line's a little older, a couple new faces, and then also losing AJ Brown. That's what worries me.
Yeah, That's tough. So let's move on, man. And I'm gonna move on to the team that I think could actually give them the most problems in this division, and I think it's the Colts. The Colts are sitting at 9.5. All right, so y'all coming in the chat, let me know. They're gonna be over or under. They're sitting at 9.5. I got the Colts being over. And I actually can see them being a 11, 12 win team. This is the team I think is going to win this division. And yes, it's because of Matt Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because of Matt Ryan coming over, that's the thing that this team was lacking. You know what I'm saying? They was lacking a QB that can get the job done. You know what I'm saying? And put them in a position to where they can win more games. They rolled Jonathan Taylor all year. Now, Jonathan Taylor is going to be a stud. I still think he's going to be good. He's still young, got the fresh legs. He's going to be good still. But the difference is they have that quarterback now. They have somebody that can spread their ball around, get it to more of their playmakers. I've been telling Willie this for a long time. I like Michael Pittman, man. I like Michael Pittman. I think Michael Pittman can be really, really good in this league. He's a big body receiver. He's not not one of the most flashy guys. He's not going to do anything crazy. He's not even going to create a whole bunch of separation, but he's going to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? So I like the Indianapolis Colts to win this division, and I got them at 11 or 12 wins. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, and I'm also going to bang the over as well on the Colts. I also think they win this division. I think they do take this division from Tennessee this year. And like you said, man, on the strength of Matt Ryan's arm, man. So I think they definitely improve at the position. It looks like TJ, he also bangs the over, man. He thinks that's an 11-win team. I think Tom said he also think they go for 10 or 11. He's taking the over as well. TJ also just said Matt Ryan's going to open up the offense, similar to how Stafford helped the Rams by taking shots. Now, the only thing I'll say about that, TJ, is the Colts don't have the weapons on the outside like y'all have with the Rams, though. So they've got Michael Pittman and not a lot else. And then Michael Pittman's still not necessarily a shot play guy either. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it'll be, that drastic. Because, when Matt got out there, Matt was trying to prove a point. He was trying to air that thing out. You know what I'm saying? So he really was. So I don't necessarily know if they'll hit the ground running like that. Just a different build on that team. That's Jonathan Taylor's offense still. So you're not looking to take away from the young stud and Taylor, but definitely let Matt Ryan come in and like I said, pick up all the slack that Carson couldn't pick up last year. Jarrell also said he's taking 10 and 7. Yeah, so he's taking it over as well. There we go.
Okay. Harrison, what's going on with you, bro? How you living? So let's go. Let's move on to the next team, Willie Jack. And since we got the boy
Let's do
Tom
it.
in here, since we got him in here, let's.
Hey, yeah, let's do it. Hey, yeah, shout out
I
to
ain't
my
gonna,
dog Tom, my dog Tom. Yeah.
if y'all don't know Tom, Tom is a Houston Texans fan. I'm gonna let everybody in here know that he's a Houston Texans fan. So let's talk about these Texans, man. Last year finished 4-13, and right now their over under is sitting at 4.5 games.
Yeah.
Willie,
Hey,
let's talk about it. Like Tom just said, let's talk about it. Houston
hey, look.
over 4.5 or under 4.5. Y'all talk to me in the chat. Over under 4.5 games for the Houston Texans.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Tom. I got good news for you, my dog. I think it's over, man. I'm a bang the over, man. 4.5. So is it gonna be 4? If it's gonna be 5, I'm gonna take the over. Now, and honestly, I didn't go through all the schedules and win lost all the teams. It's just looking at the number with that team on the fly, just kind of like what's my initial thought. So that's how I'm looking at it. So I don't know. I don't know necessarily the schedule wise, but thinking about what we saw last year and thinking about they won 4 games, but they were legitimately competitive in I want to say 2 or 3 other games they were legitimately competitive in. Some of those early games where Tyrod Taylor was there, and then even another one later on in the year with Davis Mills. So I'm gonna take the over. I think this is a team. I don't think they're going to be 500, but I'll give them another. They're another game or two better this time this year than they are last year. Davis Mills definitely came in and showed himself well, and so now he gets a full year walking in as the guy, and he gets a year to prove whether or not he's going to be the guy going forward. So similar to kind of Jalen Hurts with the Eagles, he's got this year to prove himself that hey, I can really be a guy, or hey, I'm a guy that can get you by until you find somebody who you really want to give the keys to the car to. But I'm gonna take the over, man. I think they can squeeze. They can win another game or two. If they won 4 last year, they can get to 5 or 6 this year.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna go over too, man. With the big signings of Kyle Allen, Jeff Driscoll, and hey, look, man, look. I'm gonna go over, and I'm going over for one specific reason, Tom. And I got some good news for you. Davis Mills is nice, man. He's nice. I've been liking him since he came out. You know what I'm saying? I think he got some good skills. I think a lot of times you can see the makeup of a QB by how he responds in tough situations. It wasn't the quarterback. I don't arguably.
Nicely said.
Arguably, I don't think it was a tough a QB in a tougher position than Davis Mills. Now, don't get me wrong. What's my guy? Trevor, not Trevor. Is it? Yeah, Trevor
Who you talking
Lawrence.
about?
Trevor Lawrence,
Okay.
Zach Wilson, Justin.
Justin Fields.
I can't think of none of their names. Justin Fields, Mac Jones. Well, what they said, I take Mac Jones out of there. But those other QBs were all in tough situations. But I think the Houston situation was probably the toughest situation. You could probably some people could probably argue Trevor
Jacksonville.
Lawrence. Look, I was just going to say, you could probably
Yeah.
argue Trevor Lawrence with the whole situation with their head coach, but I told him it was a dumpster fire for the season started. But just thinking about how the season went for Davis Mills and starting off with this team, not really having as many weapons. Now, Brandon Cooks did play pretty solid. But besides that, never having a run game, never having consistency around him. He was put in a tough situation for a QB that wasn't even expected to be the starter. You know what I'm saying? He was expected to just come in, ride, let Tyrod Taylor do his thing, but things happen, and they put him in this situation. And what did he do? Improved as the year went on. So if you watch some of those games toward the end of the year, man, I think I even predicted a game. I said, hey, you better watch the Houston Texans this game, upset alert. It may have been against.
No, you definitely did call them on some upsets a couple. Yeah, you definitely called. I know you called one big one for sure.
So
you did. I remember that.
I do think that a QB coming into his second year, he's the clear starter. He shows some stuff, man. He shows some stuff that you can be positive about and say, hey, I might like this kid, man. This kid may be, worth giving him another shot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm anxious to see what that's going to look like. And I think that he's going to turn out pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't get no worse than last year. The situation he was in, it don't get no worse than that. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens this year. But I'm gonna bang the over, man. I'm not gonna say how many
Okay.
games, but I'm gonna say over just for the sake that I like Davis Mills, man, and I want to see him succeed. And if they don't go over 4.5 games, he won't be quarterback in there the following year. So
That's a
I just
fact.
put
That's a
it out
fact.
there.
And then a couple in the group, man. TJ said it. No, I think TJ Chain said they're gonna get over. Jarrell's taking the under. Harris is taking the under. Tom, bro, I can't believe Tom didn't have more faith in this in his own squad. He said under as well, but he's trying to hedge unless Mills is a real QB, man. Hey, look, you gotta have more faith in your squad, man. Come on, man. Yeah, that TJ Chase said he gonna give him 6 wins. Uh, and then hold on, who else is here? Oh, then yeah, Harrison Green said under. Harrison also said he a Colts fan. Yeah, man, we both taking the over on the Colts. We think the Colts gonna win that division. Harrison, man. Tell me right now, man. Y'all on the phone with OBJ or what, man? I see a wide opening. I see an opening at X receiver. I see Matt Ryan, and I see OBJ ain't re-signed with the Rams, man. Who's talking to OBJ, man? If you need his number, let me know after the show, man. Hit me in the inbox, man. I'll make it happen,
you ain't sending
man.
his number? I think you hating on me, Willie Jack. You ain't.
But y'all ain't got no room, man. Harrison need a receiver, man. Michael Pittman out there looking hungry, man. He needs some friends, man. He looking lonely. Yeah.
All right,
And
man.
Tom said that's true. We just need to just see the consistency, or we need to lose to get some of the blue blood quarterbacks coming out this year. Well, look, man, look. I tell you one thing, y'all ain't gotta try to tank.
hey, dog. Hey, leave my dog.
One thing y'all didn't know how to do. It's just one thing y'all try to do. Y'all can do that. So you ain't got no worries, my boy. Either y'all surprise everybody and win more chips like us, or to just be business as usual.
Hey, leave my
you all
dog time
good.
alone, man. Leave my dog time alone, man. Let him breathe, man.
Hey, now I'm gonna throw him a bone. Oh, Coach Ford said Jalen Hurts returns home to play for Houston. Is Jalen Hurts the quarterback of Houston's future? Assuming it doesn't pan out in Philly. And then, like I said, Houston's kind of in their limbo as well. Do they bring in the hometown kid Jalen Hurts?
That means Jalen Hurts has to fail. That he has to fail this year, and it has to mean
work out in Philly.
Davis Mills doesn't look good. That's what that has to mean.
Yeah. So both of them. I was gonna say S the bed. Both of them crap the bed. Yeah. In their first shot, that Jalen rebounds. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I like it. Just right now. Like I do. If it doesn't work at Philly, then yeah, I would like that. I would like that. I would like that for sure. Just seeing like I like when players had the chance to go back and play for their home teams if it makes sense. So like yeah, and like I said, Davis Mills ain't got no stripes, so he ain't got no claim on that position if it's open for Jalen to go back to the crib. For sure.
He got it this year, but it's the only year. He gonna have to show it.
Yeah, that's
he gonna have to show it right now. But let's move on to the last team in this division, Willie Jack, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, they sitting at actually more than Houston, Texas, man. They're over under 6.5. Chime in, y'all. Let us know over or under 6.5. Willie Jack, I'm gonna start this one off, man, and I'm gonna go under. I just don't. I don't have much faith in this organization as of right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, they do get a couple key pieces back with this particular season, but Jacksonville was a dumpster fire. And like I said, it was arguably one of the teams where they could be a worse situation than what the Houston Texans were. And actually they were. Let's just put it out there. They were. They had the head coach Urban Meyer. Willie Jack was trying to hang on to him. And
I didn't know Urban was a wild boy like that, man. I ain't know Urban was a wild boy.
Urban used to the college life, man. Urban Meyer was out there living the college life at a professional level, and it just don't work.
Look, man, what's going on with the country when a grown man can't get a lap dance in a bar and have a beer? What's going on with you know what I'm saying? Look, that's a grown man. He's 40. All right, man is one of the Bud Light. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the company of a nice grown young lady, and everybody lost their mind. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man.
Well,
in the building, $1 a month. Josh, what's happening, dog?
Hey, it wasn't just that. That boy was kicking kickers. That boy was kicking kickers. You know, he was out here, you know, cheating on his wife. That boy was. He was out. He was doing a lot of stuff, and
Hey,
he ain't know who number 99 was on the L.A. Rams. Hey,
hey, hey, man, hey, he's damn good. Who is
who
that?
was that kid? Who was that kid? That's a nice kid. How old is he? How long he been in the league? Hey, boy.
Hey, bro, hey. Yeah, that's wild. I ain't know you. I ain't know about all that.
Hey, boy, y'all tripping in the group. Tom tripping. Coach Ford said all he wanted. How you think he got on them 5 stars? Hey, Coach,
Hey,
you might be right, man.
hey, he
Hold on,
definitely
hold
showed
on,
the boys a good
hold on,
time. I tell you
hold
that.
on,
He
hold on,
definitely showed the boys a good time,
hold
Coach.
on. Coach Ford, how you know that's how you get 5 stars?
Hey man, hey, y'all ain't gonna Nick Saban my coach. All right,
Oh,
hey, y'all ain't
oh.
gonna Nick Saban my coach. Hey, hold on, man. Hey, y'all better slow down now. Hey,
Hey,
yeah,
no, but hey, hey, this my dog.
yeah,
Coach Ford. I know we got you, Coach Ford. We never, Coach Ford. We already know. That's my dog right there. That's my dog, man.
for sure, for sure.
All
But
right. Well,
no,
let's go.
but follow up with you, man. I'm also taking the over. I do think this is gonna be a better team than they was last year, but 7 wins is a little too ambitious. They won 3 last year. Now, granted, it was dumpster fire last year, but I don't know if they're gonna more than double the win total from last year. I just don't see that. So I think they'll be a better team for sure. But I am still taking the under. I love Doug Peterson going there, by the way. Doug Peterson lost his job with the Eagles with the whole mess with him and Carson Wentz fell apart. And then the Eagles, a lot of times when you see this type of thing happen, the organization chooses one or the other. You choose the coach or you choose the QB. The Philadelphia Eagles got rid of both. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna get rid of Wentz, why do you need to get rid of Peterson? If you're gonna get rid of Peterson, why do you need to get rid of Wentz? Now the right call was to get rid of Wentz, but I don't understand the move to get rid of Peterson. Honestly, Super Bowl winning Super Bowl winning coach, and a guy who brought the best out of a guy who we've now seen go fall flat on his face in Carson Wentz at another organization. So I really like that move for Doug Peterson going down there, gets to put his hands on a young Trevor Lawrence. I love that. I like the moves they did, man. They made a lot of moves. They were one of the more active teams this year. Now they did give Christian Kirk $20 million worth of reasons to go to Jacksonville, Florida. And so, hey, salute to you, my boy. Hey, get your bag. But it shouldn't take away that he is a nice player. Like, you know what I mean? Like we let the contract value skew our perception of him as a player. He's a solid player. He really is. And so I think he's definitely going to be big, man. He's the type of player that's going to be a security blanket for a young guy like Trevor Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? So I like what they're doing. But yeah, 7 wins is a little too ambitious, man. So I'm going to take the under.
Gotcha. And the under the spread was
Coach said ass Fraley.
right.
Wink, wink.
Oh,
Big man Fraley,
you
my
missed that one.
dog.
You missed that one.
Yeah, I just seen
So
that. Big
so
man
so
Fraley.
the line is six and a
That's
half
my
on this one,
boy.
Jarrell. The line is 6.5 on this one, man. So that's
Yeah,
where
see,
we at.
hold on. Jarrell said Peterson was a trash play caller. Bro, are you serious? He's got the most famous play call in the history of Super Bowls. The Philly special? Doug Peterson can be a lot of things, but trash play caller can never be one of them, bro. The Philly special on a 4th down before halftime, passing on 3 points. First off, it take balls to steal. That's number one. Excuse my language. But come on, man. Hey, these Eagles fans are rough, bro. Eagles fans are notoriously rough. Y'all booed Santa Claus. Come
Hey,
on, man. Can't please the Eagles fan. Man, win your Super Bowl, and look at it. Look, man, won your Super Bowl. Look at that, man. Come on, Jarrell. Come on,
hey,
dog.
let's go to the next division, Willie, man. The next division, man,
All right,
let's
come
go
on
over
with it.
to the AFC East. And since we're in the AFC East, why don't we start, and I'll let you start with your favorite team, because he be acting like his favorite team is Steelers, but we know who his favorite team is. So let's start with the Buffalo Bills. You know what I'm saying? Let's start with those
Yeah,
guys over
man.
there, man. Their line is at 11.5. What you got, the over or the under on this one, Willie Jack?
Man, this is one of those lines, man. This will make you earn your money. You know what I'm saying? 11.5 is a very strong line. And so essentially they won 11 games last year. So you definitely have to earn your money on this bet. But man, hey, man, if the option, you know what I'm saying, if the choices are, you know what I'm saying, bet the church's money on Big Josh Allen or don't bet the church's money on Big Josh Allen, guess what? The church's money is bet, Chop. The church's money is bet. You put it all on Big Josh Allen. Give me the under, or excuse me, give me the over. Give me the
Well,
over. Give
which
me the
one?
over.
Make
Give me
up
the
your
over.
mind now. Make up your
Hey,
mind
give me
now.
the over, man. Hey, my bad. You know, so 11.5 is that's the other. So you got to earn your money on that type of bet, man. But I'm gonna take the over, man. This is Big Josh Allen's league. Everybody just don't know it yet. And now, you know, say his number one defense let him down. Let Patty Mahomes score 40 points in the fourth quarter. He scored 39. They couldn't stop him scoring 40. It's all good. But now we right back like we never left, man. Big Josh Allen. This is your year, big dog. Go ahead, give me 12 wins, man. Make me look real smart.
Okay, okay. And you know what, Willie Jack, I'm gonna agree with you on this one, man. I'm gonna go over on this one too. 11.5. I think they definitely bank. The thing that's throwing me off too is just like, if I go under, that means they only win 11 games. That means I think they're gonna lose 6 games. I don't see the Bills losing 6 games. You know what I'm saying?
Smart
So
man.
I'm gonna bang the over. I can see them being a 13-win team. That means they go 13-4. I can see that being happening. They stay healthy, you know what I'm saying? We see all that. They could be a 13-win team in this particular in the league. You know what I'm saying? That means I got something else for you when we get over to y'all division. But we'll talk about
Hey,
that when we get there.
that's what I see.
But
Hey, in my mind, I was already there. I'm like, man, if he see that for us, and he didn't even have us, what's the name, no man? What's he got for what's the name, no? Hey,
see,
TJ said, hey, TJ know what time it is. He said Super Bowl. You know what's going on, Big Josh Allen. Jarrell, he also taking the over. He think they got 12-5 in them. Hey, and then my sister, hey, hey, we coming in strong. Hey, and you know that's Big Josh Allen.
hey,
You know what I'm saying?
so check this out, man. It's just a well-rounded team. They didn't lose any pieces. You know what I'm saying? They brought in another piece over there, and Von Miller coming over from the Rams. You know what I'm saying? They
Yep.
still got their wide receiving weapons. They do need some help in the run game. That's one area they do need help in. I know Josh Allen ran the ball a lot for them, but he ain't gonna be able to continue to do that and stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I am concerned about. But speaking hypothetically, I'm putting my numbers together if all these teams stay completely healthy. Now we know that ain't gonna happen. Things happen
No,
every year.
exactly.
That ain't gonna happen. But if they stay completely healthy all year long, I definitely think we see a 12 or 13 win Buffalo Bills team, and they definitely gonna be competing in the AFC to possibly make it to that big dance. So that's why I got the Buffalo Bills banging it over. He said, "Why
Yeah.
would they
So
give
you a
Vine
smart
that
man.
money?"
Smart man.
Okay, so answer that one for my guy TJ. He said, "Why would they give Vine that money?" Talk to him.
And you know what, TJ? I like the move when they brought him over, but I'm not gonna lie. I was just as surprised as you to see another $100 million contract, just because of not for the player that Von's been, of course, Hall of Famer. It ain't no question. Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, 2-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, 100-sack club. He did everything he's supposed to do. The way he looked and I'm including the playoffs, that last 6-game stretch, I want to say, of ball with the Rams. That's 4 games in the playoffs. The last, I want to say, 2 games of the season. Man, hey, that was 2018 Vine. You know what I'm saying? Like those last 6 games, I think he had like 7.5 sacks, or maybe it's the last 5. He had 6.5 sacks, something like that. But he's still very, very, very capable, and he's still assuming his health is a big factor, but he's still very, very, very elite at what he does. Now, also, I'm curious to see the makeup of that deal, if it's front or back loaded, because I don't anticipate that Von Miller is going to play out the life of that contract.
Because
And
I
so
think
I know
it was like a 5-year deal, wasn't it? 4 or 5-year deal.
yeah, I was going to, I think it's 5. I don't know if you could pull it up real quick, but let's say, now here's another thing as well. If it is 5 years, if it's 5 for 100, Chop's going to check for us real quick. Or is it?
It's 6
What
years.
is it?
6 years.
Okay, 6. See, that's what I was gonna say. I almost said 6, but I wasn't sure. So it's 6 for 100, and so the 100 smack you in the face, like, oh damn, hey, Von's still getting that back, and he is. But 6 for 100, that's less than 20 a year. So that's roughly 18 million a year, something off the top of my head, right?
But
18 and change a year.
But 52 and a half of that guaranteed.
Yeah, so that's 3 years. That's a 3-year contract then.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that means. It's a 3-year contract. Now that makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna be out of guaranteed money. I would bet the bulk of that's going to be in this first year. I don't know, what was the signing bonus on that? Does it say like 20? I would imagine the signing bonus was like 27, something like that. I don't know if they have it, but essentially it's really a 3-year deal. So what's that? 3 for 57, which is still going to be less than 20 a year. And if you look in the grand scheme of pass rushers, the top guys are making more than 25 a year. So that's T.J. Watt, that's Myles Garrett, that's Joey Bosa. Miles Crosby or Max Crosby just got paid. Those guys are 25 mil plus, and so Vine's actual yearly hit is 5 million or so less than those guys. And so when you look at it like that, it's a very good deal for both sides, I think.
So his average salary is around 20 million a year. His signing bonus was 18 and a half.
Oh, so man, that's I love that deal. I love the deal even more now.
Yeah, so his signing bonus is 8.5. Yeah, like I said, 6 year, 120. So he has to. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of incentives in there. He's 33 years old, and that was one of the things that me and Willie said too when it first hit was we want to see how this deal hit. It was something I was watching. It was a documentary a few years ago, when there was some former NFL players talking to you, and it might have been Fred Taylor. He was talking about how they do contracts, and they'll restructure a contract that way they don't take that much of a cap hit, and they're front loaded or back loaded depending on the player's age and all the other situations. So you never know how these contracts work out. Something may look a lot worse than what it really is, but yeah. So said all that to say that's why they made the deal. You know what I'm saying? And they brought in a guy that they think is going to compete to win a championship this year, not
exactly. No, go ahead.
Not for the future, not 4 or 5 years down the road, but if they trying to win a Super Bowl right now.
Exactly, and that's the thing too. I don't think Vine doesn't even. I think Vine. If Vine gets that ring this year with Buffalo, and I think he really has a real chance to do so, I think he walks away. Honestly, I think he walks away with no regrets at all. Even if they get close and don't leave, maybe he would come back and run it back, especially if they're still gonna guarantee money on this deal. But I don't think Vine plays more than 2 years. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that's what he wants to do. He's got tons of interest. Me and my dog Tom, we was in Vegas a couple years ago. Vine DJs. Vine was DJing in a club in Vegas a couple years ago, just randomly. You know what I'm saying? So like he's got a whole bunch of other stuff going on, man. So I don't think he's a lifer. I don't think he's looking to, like, this is a good opportunity to jump right into a championship run like he did with the Rams, and so he took it. So I think it makes sense. Couple comments. My dog DV, what's going on with you, big dog? He said they drafted a running back he thinks might be different than Twan Smith. Shout out to Twan as well. He said, yeah, there was Dalvin Cook's little brother, James Cook, from from Georgia. I was gonna say Florida State, from Georgia. Dalvin went to Florida State. Yeah, so they drafted Dalvin Cook's little brother from Georgia, and so man, that's the thing. They keep swinging and missing at running backs. Man, they like Devin Singletary, Dak Moss. Like I said, now you've drafted James Cook. I like Cook as well. Like I said, and so I hope he does well. I hope he does well also. And I couldn't talk.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
But now, good comments, everybody. Hold on. Tom said it wasn't 100 mil. Well, no. Well, the overall face value of the contract is 100 mil. Yeah, TJ. Yeah, I'm behind on the comments. Okay, yeah, I'm behind on the comments. My fault. But you know, go ahead. Who's next?
Go ahead. Next team, man. We're gonna stay in the division. We're gonna go to New England, man. Go to the Patriots. The Patriots line sits at 8.5. What's up? Throw it in the chat. Are they over or under, y'all? Over or under?
Ooh, you want me to start this? You gonna start this one?
Oh yeah, you started off the Bills, so I start off with this one, man. And
okay. Yeah.
This one tough because I do think the Patriots take a step back from last year. Last year they was a 10-win team, so I do think they take a step back. Are they 9-8? You know what? Okay, I bring in 9-8. They over, but barely. Over, but barely. 9-8. They just missed the playoffs. I see them in a 9-win team. I don't see them dropping back to where they are a terrible team, but I do think they fall back from the amount of wins they got last year. I think they fall out of the playoffs. I think their defense also takes a step back with the loss of J.C. Jackson. And the more I keep talking about this, I think this is going to cost them more than just a game. So I'm banging the under. I'm going to bang the under, and I'm going to go 8 wins. 8-9.
Hey, sometimes it be like that, bro.
8-9. Sometimes it be like that. I see this team falling, man. Mac Jones, I do think what we seen from Mac Jones is what we're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be a solid guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna be, anything more than what we've seen. He's gonna grow and he's gonna become smarter. But as far as skill wise and what he's able to do or provide to you on the field, he's gonna be that same guy. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't do a great job of adding a lot of weapons around him. So I think we still see the pretty much the same Mac Jones we seen last year. I think they're going to have this still a solid offensive line. They're going to be able to run the ball pretty well, and they're going to have some solid pieces, and they're going to their team to where they can win a few games, but not enough to where you can say, all right, this is a team to beat. And to where we consider them as a potential playoff team. I don't think we looking at a playoff team here. I see 8, maybe even 7 wins. So I'm gonna bang the under on the Patriots.
Okay, now and you know what, man? I was thinking. Oh, a couple comments real quick. TJ said he thinks they stay the same. Ooh, boy, hey, 10 wins? I don't know, man. They got at least. I would think they took a step back. Twine said under. TJ said he thinks they stay the same at 10. Oh, no, okay. Now he said he forgot that Jesse. I think it means JC left. DV, bro, you taking it over? You taking that over, DV? Ain't that okay? No, I got you. I also took the over, and honestly, it's for the simple fact that I don't know if Bill Belichick is gonna let this team fall below 500. I think Bill Belichick is gonna find a way to to keep this team like just nose above water. You know what I'm saying? If the difference is gonna be like if there's gonna be one game to be over under 500, you know what I'm saying? I'll give Bill Belichick the benefit of the doubt. I'll give Bill a way to eke out one more win, man, and get the 9 wins. That's where I think. I think they finish right there at 9 wins, 9-7, and just save the losing season. Let me see here.
That's a tall task, man. We asking for the losses that they had, man. That's the only thing that I'm
no,
concerned about.
They did lose Jesse Jackson. Now they brought back Malcolm Butler. Now for whatever that's worth, you know what I'm saying. Malcolm Butler, the guy who you know what I'm saying, who Pete Carroll gave Russ the second Super Bowl to on the goal line, but it's all good. But he left with the Tennessee for a while, got a little money, and now he's back in the building with Bill. And so I don't think either person's happy about that. You know what I'm saying? He also got kicked out of another Super Bowl when they was getting abused, but he had he had gotten Bill's doghouse and didn't get to play for like 3 quarters or something crazy against the Eagles Super Bowl, I think it was. But anyway, so he's back there. But no, I still think the Patriots are always a team that the sum is always greater than its parts. So if you just look individually, Mac Jones, middle tier quarterback, Damian Harris, you know, solid, but you wouldn't necessarily call him an elite running back. The receivers, a whole bunch of don't nobody really worry, ain't nobody scared. You know, they went out and spent all that money on them tight ends that don't nobody worry about. You know what I mean? The O line is pretty solid. They do generally maintain a solid O line. The defense is always really the backbone of all these teams, and so the defense is still always going to be pretty solid. But like I said, I'll give Bill the benefit of the doubt, man, and say he scrapes 9 wins. And then Twine said, "Do we think they win the division at 9?" Man, hell no, they ain't winning that division, boy. They in the division with Big Josh Allen. You crazy? Nah, man, Big Josh Allen gonna walk that division, big dog. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, hey, Twine asked about Sheldon Richardson, who I think should pick him up, and I was telling him that I still think the Bucks would be a place. And now he mentioned that they did sign Hicks, just to catch up in the chat. So I was telling him I don't think Hicks is a full-time starter, and I think that even still a rotation, Hicks, Sheldon Richardson, Logan Hall, the guy they just drafted. Also, another thing, you just drafted Logan Hall, so he's not a guy you look to come in and start day one. He came from, I think, from Houston. He's a little light as far as his frame. I think he's like 6'5", 260. He needs to get a little stronger to play in that 3 front. The way they play their guys, anyway, it's more of a 4-eye. So I don't think Hall is ready to just come in and play right now, anyway. So I still think there's room for, just like I said, the veteran presence. If anything, like I said, to rotate these guys until if you think Hall is ready or whatever the case. DV's got to be 9 wins. Okay, yeah, I'm right there with you. Yep. Because of Bill, exactly. My phone catching up in the chat.
You good. All right, Willie Jack. Well, let's go on to the next team, man.
Hey, my big nephew watching the stream as well with my sister, man. What's going on with y'all, man? Appreciate y'all. Learn something.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, let's go and move it to the next team. And somebody just mentioned them in here. Somebody said the Bills and the Dolphins are going to be competing. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I'm going to go ahead and start it off. And we're going to go with the
DB
Dolphins.
said the Dolphins ready this year. Okay.
We're gonna jump into the Dolphins. We're going to talk about them right now. So we got the Dolphins. They line is sitting at 8.5. Willie Jack, you got the over or under on the Dolphins, man.
Yeah, I'm taking the over on that Dolphins line, man. And this may be one of the teams I'm most excited to see. Just I want to see what Tyreek looks like with Tua. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see just as much as I want to see Patty without Tyreek. I want to see Tyreek without Patty. So I'm curious to see how that looks. But this is a team, man. You know, I hate the situation that happened with Brian Flores there, who really showed his coaching chops. Remember they started like 0-5 and then rebounded and won like 7 in a row, got themselves back in playoff contention, finished above 500. You know what I mean? And so he built and constructed that team. I love the foundation that they had, just all the way around, well, especially defensively. I shouldn't say all the way around. The offensive line was terrible. Now they made some additions there. Teron Armstead, Robert Hunt last year. They drafted a young guy playing right guard. He looks like he's going to stick. They also brought over another O lineman as well. So they did their own little mix.
Connor Williams? They brought in Connor Williams.
Connor Williams, left guard from Dallas. So you got a new left tackle, new left guard. Your right guard proved to be pretty decent, and so now you've got center and right tackle. You know what I mean? But now between two guards, you can help or pick up the play of a center, or at least we're hoping so. And so now maybe the biggest concern is right tackle. You know, how does that stick? But anyway. It's a lot of bullets in the gun. Now, the only thing is, I don't know who's shooting, though. You know what I'm saying? So, Tyreek, you got Jalen Wilder, you got Gesicki, you've got there's one more guy I'm not thinking of.
You said who you name? You name it? Just the weapons in general.
Yeah, it's another guy I felt like I was missing that came over another offseason addition.
Cedric Wilson from the Cowboys. Cedric Wilson from the Cowboys. They brought over Tyreek Hill, of course. They still have Jalen Waddle. You got Gesicki. Then the running backs they got they got Chase Edmonds and the guy from 49ers, the fast one. They always hurt. He get hurt every first year. No.
Was it Matt Breida or Mostert?
Mostert.
Mostert. Okay, yeah.
Mostert.
No, I think it was Cedric Wilson I was thinking of, because Cedric Wilson showed himself damn well in Dallas when Gallup, the CD Lamb, and Amari Cooper went out. I was very shocked to see that Dallas let Cedric Wilson get out the door like they did. And so I like him there too. And so I really like all those weapons that they have. And so like you said, it all comes down to, you know what I mean? It all comes down to Tua. So just like we said, Davis Mills, just like we said, Jalen Hurts, Tua's got this year to show that he's going to be the guy, or they go back to the drawing board at the position for sure. So, but yes, I'm going to take the over though. I say all that to say the over is 8.5. They won 9 games last year. I think they got better as a team this year. The O line's going to be better. You got more explosive weapons in Tyreek, who should elevate or make things easier for everybody else on the offense as well. So I'm definitely ready to see Miles Gesicki really get loose and show what he can do. He's a guy I've been championing, or I've been kind of pitching or a fan of for a couple of years. He just hasn't his talents hasn't been brought to the forefront. This is a guy in the right system, man. He can beat Travis Kelce. He can beat David Waller. He can produce like this guy. This is a 1,000-yard type receiver at tight end, and just a guy who hasn't been in a system that can exploit what he could do. So I'm hoping he finally gets to get some love this year.
And I'm gonna go over too, man. And I'm going over because I believe in Tua, man. I think Tua's all right, man. Tua's solid. It was a couple games where we felt like that when they brought their backup in, it wasn't much of a difference. But then we noticed the difference when they brought Tua back in. You know what I'm saying? His decisions were quick. He doesn't have the strongest arm. You know what I'm saying? But now I think this is it. They going all in for Tua. You know, so it's either gonna be now or never. And I believe in Tua. You know, and that's the reason why I feel like this team can be they can replace the Patriots as possibly a wild card team in this AFC. You know what I'm saying? And the Patriots being maybe that 7-8 win team, and the Miami Dolphins being a 10 win team. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that happening for Miami if they can just be consistent, play smart. You know what I'm saying? And utilize all the weapons that they brought over. They helped out their offensive line a lot, like you said. So I'm anxious to see how this goes. You know what I'm saying? As far as this particular team putting it all together and trying to make a true run at this. But I got the over for the Miami Dolphins.
For sure. And it looks like everybody in the chat banged the over as well. Antoine Jarrell, DV, TJ. It looked like everybody. It looked like everybody took the over on the Dolphins as well. And then a lot of guys are talking about the speed on the team. Man, Twan said they got a 4x1. Man, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So,
Ooh, we
and I ain't gonna lie, quiet as kept. Mostert, real life,
might
may
be.
be the guy on
He
that
might.
team.
He right there. I wouldn't put him in Tyreek yet, but that boy is a
Well, no,
roller. He is a
the only
roller.
thing I'm saying is, well, I'm talking, if we're talking 4x1, like, because I think Mostert was like a gold medalist in college in D1. He was like a gold medal, like 4x1 or 4x2 runner or something like that for, I can't think of the school he went to, but true burner speed. Like, I don't, that's why when people talk about Tyreek racing Usain Bolt, like, I don't know, man, that track speed is a little different, man. That long speed,
No,
track
he ain't
guys,
beat. He ain't beat. Both do this.
well, now, he ain't being both, but even still, like guys with real deal track speed, because some of these guys don't even really open up until they get to 40 yards. Football players are trying to peak at 40. Some of these guys who can really roll, bro, they just find their groove there. You know what I'm saying? Like most of them walk out before the 200. You know what I'm saying? So,
But Hill
yeah.
is a former track star too, though. That's why a lot of people say that.
And the 200 was Tyreek's race as well, and he was a 20-second guy, like 20.13 or something. He was a 20-second guy as well at a I want to say at a JUCO, at a JUCO. But see, like I said, but I don't know if he ran track since then. He was like 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? He's been away for track for a long time. I think Breeder's track history is a little closer. He said, "Yeah, no, yeah, oh yeah, ain't nobody touching that, bro. Ain't none of these guys touching that.
Nah,
That 900 for sure.
All right, moving on,
No,
Willie Jack. Let's go.
he got lower than that, didn't he?
Huh?
But, oh yeah, we talking about I was about to say, I think he even got lower than that. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, either way, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. New York Jets, last team in this division, man. They got them sitting at 4.5. Willie, I'm gonna bring the over on this one, man. Actually, no, I'm sorry. They got them at 5.5. Get them, but I'm still going over because I see them getting 6. You know what I'm saying? I see them getting 6 wins. I think a lot of the weapons that they've added, man, were very nice. And we talked about it, and we think they could possibly have drafted the best player on offense and the best player on defense. You know what I'm saying? In this particular draft, with adding Sauce to that particular team, which I feel like he was the best corner in the league. I mean, not in the league, but in the draft. I feel like he was the best corner in the draft. And then going to get Garrett Wilson, a receiver, to add another weapon to their offense for my guy for Zach Wilson. I think that's going to help them a lot. And then you go getting 2 more picks. You add Jermaine Johnson, the defensive end out of Florida State, who I like. You know, he was in it, who I think is going to make an impact. But also Breece Hall. You know what I'm saying? That running back. Mm-hmm. So now you have a 1-2 punch in your backfield for running when you're running the ball. You have more weapons at receiver. You know what I'm saying? You got young guys, but young guys are still are continuing to get better. Twan Johnson, he said Zach in it. He said Johnny Manziel. I'll say this, Twan. I'm not a big fan of Zach Wilson at all, but his arm talent way better than what Johnny Manziel's was, bro. That's different. That's different type of arm talent. I'll say that. But this is not about Zach Wilson, so I'm gonna keep my Zach Wilson thoughts to myself. But I do go over.
Come on, man. They the same person. Come on, man. How? Jarrell said he's gonna take the over. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
I'm done. That's it. I'm telling you, go ahead.
Okay, man. And you know what, man? Yeah, Zach Wilson was my favorite quarterback coming out of that class with him and Trevor Lawrence. And so that's no secret. So I'm definitely a fan of him, and I'm cheering for him. I took the under. I still think they're a year away. And the reason I took the under, now for most of these teams, I haven't really seen the schedules. I saw like another post that was talking about the Jets. I think the Jets' first like 8 games of the season, they first half of the season, bruh, they play that first opening stretch is hell. They could literally start 0-6. Like looking at their first 6 games. I want to say I think they play the AFC West and the AFC North. So I think they get like Kansas City, the Chargers, and the Broncos, and I also think they get Baltimore, Cincinnati, and somebody else as well, but they've got a very super rough stretch to start the season. And when you're a young team like that, and I don't know, are you able to pull it up real quick for me?
What you need? What you need?
The Jets schedule, like I said, their first 6 games are brutal, and what I'm worried about is they very likely could go 0-6 to start the season. Just looking at the schedule they had, and Chop's gonna read off them games for y'all in a minute when he pulls it up. They could go 0-6, and when you're a young team like they are, I mean, it's young or old, but it's hard to you know what I'm saying, to just not kind of like
So they
get
got
just
they got
get beat early.
they got the Ravens first. They got the Browns.
Yeah.
They at home against the Ravens. They go to Cleveland. At home against the Bengals. They go to Pittsburgh. That's a win for the Jets. Then they got then Dolphins come to them. Then they got the Packers, and then they got the Broncos.
Yeah. So that 7-game stretch right there, bro, they could be 1-6. You know, they could be 0-7, they could be 1-6. And honestly, I'm holding out for that Browns game because honestly, I don't know what's gonna go on with Deshaun. I would assume he's not gonna be playing. And if Baker if Baker has any stones, Baker ain't suiting up. You know what I'm saying? So that could be a gimme with the Browns. Now, not to say that defense and that run game still can't win a game. I'm not saying that at all. And they were able to do that last year. But still, man, those first 7 games are rough. And like I said, for a very young team, man, where confidence is already fragile, or most of these guys, when you're coming from college, normally the guys at this level who come from college, they're used to winning. So when you first get to the league and you get your head bust, you 0-5, you 0-6, you 1-7. You know what I'm saying? Like mentally, man, it's hard to kind of stay the course or bounce back. So just for a young team, I don't know if maybe they get just beat you know what I'm saying, beat to sleep out the breaks, man, and just don't recover. So I'm gonna take, if I gotta bet it, I'm gonna take the under. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him 5 wins if I gotta bet it. But like I said, I'd be pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I want Zach Wilson to do well. So I hope to be wrong on that one. But I am gonna take the under, man. I'm gonna give him 5 wins.
Gotcha. All right, Willie Jack, man. Well, let's go on to your division, man. Let's go to the AFC North. All right, let's go to the AFC North.
My bad. Wait, quick question before we move on, because Twine asked a question about the Jets. He said, "Is Salah's leash long? Does he get a year to jail, or does he got years?" He's talking about Robert Salah, the coach. He coordinated with the Niners, came up with the Jets in his 2nd year.
He got this
What
year
you think,
and next year. He got this year
No,
and next year. That's it.
No, I don't think they're gonna rush the process. I think they know what kind of project this was going to be, rebuilding this team from the ground up. That roster was horrendous. It was terrible from top to bottom. It was ran poorly by now I can't even think of the coach who was there before Robert Salah got there, but he was a joke. Help me out, man.
I forgot his name too. He came from the Dolphins. And
exactly. Well, now I can't think of it.
I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring it to you.
Yeah. So, but I say all that to say, I think that like ownership, they realized what it was going in there, and I think when he left and took the job as well, I would imagine that's got to be some of the things.
Adam Gase.
Adam Gase, there you go. The guy he made his name holding Peyton Manning's Gatorade in Denver. All those years in Denver when Peyton went there and lit it up, and Adam Gase got the credit. But everybody knows Peyton is his own OC. But anyway, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? We just talking about the sheriff. Everybody can't do that, but it's all good. But no, so I think he gets some years to really build and mold that team, and the way they're drafting and the outlook on that team going forward, I think they're building something. Like I said, and I think I said this last year, or I think I said that after the draft. These Jets are really building a really strong foundation right now. Chop just talked about their draft. For me, I think they had the best overall draft top to bottom. Like I said, those first 5 players, those first 5 or 6 picks, they got 5 or 6 players, real guys who are going to play and contribute and stick around. And so I love the moves they making. And for that, I think Salah does have some years to get that ship right.
But see, that's part of the reason why I feel like he don't have that long, because last year he drafted players. This year we feel like he drafted.
Rookie quarterback last year. You know, I don't think you hold his feet to the fire with a rookie quarterback coming in, man. And draft.
No. It's not just that year. I'm saying it's going to be the combination of this. So like if we look back at this next year, and they didn't improve their 2nd year from their very first year he was there, and after we both agreed that they had a good draft last year and they had a good draft this year. Not to say that was going to make them better right then and there. But after 3 years, you're still not good. I don't know if they stick with him, bro.
Well, I guess the difference is what are we gonna grade them on, good or not? If it's just gonna be the win loss number, then I don't know, because I don't know if they'll win more games this year than last year. But the team we see on the field, I think is going to be drastically better. And so I think as long as you can see the actual improvement, then the wins will come. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're playing good ball, the wins will come. That's the same way I feel about the Lions. Lions played a lot of good ball or competitive ball. They played a lot of bad ball and mistake ball as well, but they played a lot of competitive ball. And as long as you're doing that, like I said, the wins will come. So I think as long as they put a good, as long as they're competing, they're not out there mistake prone or mistake laden or just completely, you know what I mean? So I think the win loss total might not be better, but I think they will be a better team though. So I think that's going to be enough to give them some more time.
Got you. We had a couple comments in there too, Willie Jack. But I guess you can read. You can read.
What's the word?
I'm gonna move.
Go ahead, bro.
But I'm gonna go to the AFC North, man. I'm gonna go to the AFC North. Let's start off with the former AFC champs. Let's go with the Cincinnati Bengals, man. Cincinnati Bengals. All right. Their line sits at 9.5 games. Willie Jack, you going over or under on this one?
With the Bengals, I'm going to take the over. So the 9.5, I think I almost felt like this was a gimme. I feel like 10.5 would have made me think about it. You got to earn your money a little bit at 10.5, but at 9.5, I'm gonna bang that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take the 10 wins, and I'm gonna take the 10 or more. This is a team. 10, 11 wins wouldn't surprise me at all. If they win the division, over a rallying Baltimore this year, it wouldn't surprise me at all. So I think this was an easy one for me, man. I'll let you talk about it. I know you were higher on them than me overall, so I'll let you kind of go deep into them. But I'm gonna take the over though. And then Twan, I'm gonna think about that question, bro, and I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna comment. I'm thinking about that. He said, "Is the McVay style of coaching, what the league is moving towards? What type of coach comes in and can change the Jets?" Robert Saleh's a defensive-minded coach, but I don't think you have to be. Well, no, my fault. Go ahead. I'm gonna comment on that, but that's a good question, Twan. I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna highlight you in the chat.
Okay, got you. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna agree with you on banging the over with the Cincinnati Bengals, man. And this is the one. Last week we had 3 from the NFC teams where you can put your money on it, you good. It's almost a guarantee. This is one of those ones for me at 9.5 games. For a team that, in the offseason, in my opinion, clearly improved on the offensive line, which was the hugest problem that they had. You know what I'm saying? They still got those weapons, still got, a lot of the things in place. You bang this over all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? I think this team, in competition with the Ravens, but I still give the Bengals the edge on winning this particular division. And the only reason, now, this goes back to what you talked about before, Willie Jack, is just because a team has a better record than another team doesn't mean that they're necessarily better. Okay?
Yeah.
So even though I have the Buffalo Bills being a possible 12-13 win team, I think the Bengals could possibly get to 12. I don't see them necessarily getting to 13, but it's because of the division. You know what I'm saying? The division is going to be a monster. You know what I'm saying? Especially if Watson hits the field. That's going to be big. But if Watson hits the field, this division is going to be a monster. The Ravens are going to be a monster. Steelers are usually never a pushover. You know what I'm saying? I know this is probably going to be a down year for the Steelers, but it ain't going to be a cakewalk for these guys in the particular division, which could ultimately cost them a win or two. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this is not the best team in the AFC. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done. So for me, I bang the over, but I do have them a win short of the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills end up with a bye week at the end of the year, but the Bengals are right up there with them. And I think they, in my opinion, when we watch them, when we let the film speak, when we see them on the field, I think that my ultimate opinion is going to be the Bengals are the better team at the end of this thing. But I'm making an over on this one because of their improvements on that offensive line.
No, for sure. And it looks like the chat agrees, man, with both of us. I think BB said he got the over with 11. Twan said he taking the over. Twan said they didn't lose anybody and they got better. Yeah. No, that's a fair point. I was trying to think if they lost anybody. They tight end. He went to the Jets, Uzama, but nobody else is coming to mind really. Let me see. Yeah, Jarrell said they're giving away money on this one. I ain't gonna lie, man. I feel pretty good about it as well. 9.5 feels like a gimme. That's why I said like 10.5. I think would have made you earn your money, but 9.5, hey, that's free money. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
DV said the toughest division in the league. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. We used to have that crown, man. I think that AFC West gonna be something different this year, man. That AFC West is really loaded up, man. They really are.
Yeah,
And then Twine agreed as well. He said the AFC West as well, man. The AFC West stacked, man. It really is. It's scary work over there.
for sure. For
Because
sure.
there's still question marks with Pittsburgh. There's still question marks with Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? At the quarterback position, which of course is the most important position in the game. So when there's kind of unknowns at those positions, I think even though the defenses are still all tight in that division, but I think with two of those teams having real issues at quarterback, I think it gives the edge to the AFC West where everybody's loaded top to bottom.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's jump on over to Baltimore, man. Let's go over to them. What you call them? The Purple Birds? I don't know what you call them, man. But let's jump over to the Ravens, man.
The purple pigeons. Yeah, man. The purple pigeons. You know what I'm saying? The purple birds, man.
But let's jump over to the Ravens, man. Ravens finished the season 8-9 last year with a banged up running back room, banged up quarterback, banged up secondary. Those guys were banged up. Still managed to finish the season 8-9 last year. Their line is also 9.5 this particular year. And you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start this one off, Willie Jack, and I'll let you finish it up. But I'm a bang the over on this one as well, man. Baltimore Ravens had a really, really good offseason as far as the people that they brought over to add to their defense. They now not only have Marlon Humphrey, what's my other guy named?
Marcus
Peters. And then they brought over a new corner and
Kyle
Fuller, to add to that secondary. Not to mention they draft the best safety, or what was considered the best safety in this particular draft, out of Notre Dame and Hamilton. And then you got everybody healthy back on that offense. You know what I'm saying? And you lose Brown, but I don't think they lose much with that anyway, especially with the style of that offense. And I just think the Baltimore Ravens are going to be a team to be reckoned with this particular year. You know what I'm saying? If it's a team that's going to compete with them for this division, it's going to be this team. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm going to bang the over on this one too. I can see them also getting maybe 11 wins in this particular division. It's going to be tough, but I see them really competing and really making some noise.
All right, hold on. A couple comments. Twine said he banging the under. Said them boys ain't making no noise. Hey, I feel you. Hey, shout out to my dog Skinny, man. He said he got him at 11-6, and he's gonna take the over. He asked if they taking a step back. I don't think they took a step back because they were so injured last year that now just by getting healthy, they can't help but take another step forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like J.K. Dobbins is back. Like I said, the corners are back. They add another Pro Bowl level corner as well, and Kyle Fuller. I really love that move, man. That secondary is scary. You bring over Marcus Williams from the Saints. Not even sure why the Saints let him go. They bring over Marcus Williams from the Saints at free safety. Still, he didn't even break the bank when they brought him over to sign him. You draft Kyle Hamilton, who falls to you in the draft. Like Chop said, you lose Hollywood Brown, but honestly, his style of play, the things he does well, it just never really jived with Lamar, and so he's gone. But I don't think that's necessarily the loss that it could be, somewhere else on a different team with a different makeup. And so for all those reasons, man, I'm gonna take the over because at 9.5. DB said he thinks that he believes the Ravens should win the division with 13 wins, bro.
That's tough.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hey, Skinny said he taking Cincinnati in that division, man. Me as well, man. If I had to pick somebody for that division, I would go Cincinnati. Cincinnati plays Baltimore well as well. Cleveland for that. Honestly, we all play each other well. It's interdivision. So, like I said, man, none of the teams in the division are a cakewalk at all. But man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Unless DV knows something I don't, man. 13, that's a tall order. That's a tall order, man. I don't know. But I do think definitely they're going to be firmly right there back in the mix where they always are, man. I think it's still I would think comfortably they're an 11-win team. I feel safe to say that. So I'm going to take the over as well. I hope they're not a 13-win team, DV. That means they probably that means that they did something to us we didn't want them to. And you know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. So no, I don't want them to win 13. But I keep about 11.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And Willie,
Hey, my dog said huge steal. Who was the steal, bro? Or is he talking about Hamilton? I'm assuming maybe he's talking about Hamilton falling down because we talked about them drafting Hamilton. So yeah, Hamilton steal. Yeah. Failed. Ball in their backfield. They got to take advantage. I don't know, man. You really like them that much over Cincinnati? I don't know, man. Ooh,
hey,
you know what? That Kyle Hamilton signing, that Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams in the backfield of Cincinnati's, you know what I'm saying? Cincinnati's got them three guys on the outside as well. So now they match up excellent with those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like stride for stride, you know what I'm saying? Marlon Humphrey and Chase, Peters and
I tell you what.
Peters
I tell you
on
what.
board now.
I tell
Hey,
you what. I hope he bring those three guys over there to match up with them guys one on one and call it all out blitz. He better not. He better not call it all out. Call because he did it a couple times. Left his corner
man,
one
yeah,
on
he
one.
did.
Do it if you want to. Boy, that boy Chase gonna have a field day. Chase gonna have a field day, and I don't care who guarding him. Marlon Humphrey, Peters, either one. It don't matter. Anyway, let's move on to your team, Willie Jack. Man, Pittsburgh Steelers. They're sitting at 7.5. What you got, dog? What you got, man? Don't disappoint your Steelers fans. What you gonna do, man?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm gonna take the over, bruh. I'm gonna take the over, and I'm not gonna oversell it or overdo it for us. I'm not gonna do all that. The truth of the matter is, objectively, Ben Roethlisberger was a below-average quarterback last year. So him being gone, and now we've got Mitch Trubisky, who I hope wins the starting job. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ready to see Kenny Pickett come in and start right now. So I hope Mitchell Trubisky wins that job as he should. And realistically, I'm not now Ben is a greater quarterback than Mitchell Trubisky in the greater scheme of things. But I'm talking about if we're looking at who's going to play quarterback tomorrow, then yeah, I think Mitchell Trubisky is going to play better quarterback tomorrow than Ben Roethlisberger is going to do. And so with that being said, we were a 9-win team. We stole a playoff appearance. I don't know how y'all let that happen, but so I'm gonna take the over, man. I'm gonna give Mike T, man. I'm gonna get Ice Mike. I'm gonna give my dog Coach Mike T, man. I'm gonna give him 9 wins. I'm gonna give him keep the streak alive. You know what I'm saying? My dog ain't had a losing season yet. And I don't see no reason to give it to him now. Like it's gonna be 9 hard, ugly wins, just like they was last year. But they ain't nothing new to us. So I think we get the over, man. I think we scrape 9 wins and stay above 500. And just like I said, we just make it ugly for everybody else on their way to going where they got to go.
Yeah. Hey, Willie, I'm gonna apologize to you right now, dog.
Hey, do what you got to do, bro.
I think this might be the first one, man. First losing season. As Twan said too, he said in the chat, first losing season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. And I just think it's gonna be too tough.
Game just sounds so low. This you know what I'm saying? That means 7 and 10. We're gonna lose 10 games. That don't sound right.
Hey,
I'm 34. I don't know if I remember the last time we lost 10 games, bro. Like I just can't imagine.
Well,
I can't imagine double-digit losses.
They not go.
What's that feel like, Chop? Let me know. Somebody let me know what that feels like. What's double-digit losses feel like?
Hey,
I can't
bro,
imagine.
it's terrible. Trip, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there, bro. I've been there. I've been a Rams fan since I can remember. So you don't want to be there. I had a lot of double-digit losing seasons. First round draft picks.
I don't even remember what it feels like, man. Hey, I can't even remember.
So look, man, check this out.
DB said we're going 8-8 and a tie. 8-8 and a tie. Hey, I'll take it.
Pittsburgh Steelers, man. They lost Ben. Of course, he was struggling. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have anybody as of right now. I can't put that much faith in the rookie to go in there and do his thing like that. And somebody got to lose some games. If we got 2 teams in this division that's going to be double-digit wins, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got to do it. And unfortunately, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they fall on this side of the spectrum. Not to mention some of the other tough divisions in the AFC that we're going to talk about next. But it ain't going to be no walk in the park, man. It's going to be rough for them boys. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is not a full rebuild. It's just a transition for the Steelers.
We can reload. That's all it is.
It's a transition for the Steelers. They're going to have to find some stuff. Hopefully they found their guy in Kenny Pickett. We'll see what he ends up being, because I do think we're going to see him at some point this year for sure. But this year, this might be that down year for the Steelers, man. So I'm going to go under. I ain't going to go too long on them or too hard. I got them under, though. That's 7.5 this year.
And then real quick, Twine said he's going under. He said he doesn't not enough firepower, and then plus in the division. Now I'm not gonna. Here's the thing why I don't agree. I think we have weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like I like our weapons. Now they're still young, but I like Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson is a guy who's on the verge of being like a star. You know what I'm saying? Like he's quiet as kept. I think he had 100 catches last year. He was like he had like 1,100 yards, or he was like a top 10 yards and catch guy last year. He played very well. He had the dropsies 2 years ago. He started out last year without dropping a pass. Then like the last 4 or 5 games of the season, he dropped a couple more as well. But this is still a guy who's on the verge of being a real difference maker. Excellent route runner, excellent short area quickness, and just agility. I mean, so he does have all the skills there to be a very, very good player. Chase Claypool, man, a big size speed specimen, still putting it together as well. Took a small step back last year, but still a guy with all the potential in the world. I love our draft picks, George Pickens and Calvin Austin. Now, don't know what to say about them as far as what to expect for them for their rookie year. Najee Harris was already last year. Well, I'm not even talking about last year. This year, he's projected to be a top 5 back in the league. Already was he's a 1,000-yard rusher. He's a guy who I would look for him to be a guy who's gonna be 1,800 all-purpose yards. You know, say 1,200 on the ground, another 600 catching and receiving. Like my dog Skinny was talking about, man. Word is that he's came in and he's already a big back. He came in a little bigger. He's up to 245, but he say he's like just jacked. So if anything, he may need to stay out the weight room. You know what I'm saying? It's not bad weight because Skinny was saying he might have blew up like Zion. Nah. He if anything, he just somebody got to keep him out the weight room, man. That's what it is. He ain't look like that. James gave us 6-11. Man, I can't imagine. 11 losses. I can't imagine watching 11 games that we lose. I can't imagine. Bro.
Hey. It's got to happen to somebody with it, Jack. We'll see what happens, man. So we'll see what
the Browns, man, we acting like the Browns ain't got a starting quarterback on the roster, man. The Browns gonna take that L. Let the Browns take that heat. Hey, the girl said it's close to a rebuild. Nah. We ain't going full-fledged rebuild. We still got pieces. That defense still stout. We still got TJ. We still got Minka. We still got Killer Cam. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of pieces on the defense, man. The defense still gonna keep the game.
Look, man.
Hey, he said the disrespect.
Look, man, here we go, man. Last team in this division, man, the Cleveland Browns, okay? And the crazy part is they don't even have the Cleveland Browns listed on here.
Yeah, they've been pulled from Vegas. Vegas has pulled them from betting considering all the unknowns. Yeah.
So the Cleveland Browns, okay, they won 8 games last year. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to call out a win total. And actually, I ain't.
No, let's use that number. Call it 8.5. Call it 8.5, yeah. So that's just right in the middle of the road.
And see, this is the most This could be a 4 or 5 win team. This could be an 11-win team, and they could fall anywhere in between. And it's all going to be dependent on if it's a suspension, how long is the suspension. You know what I'm saying? All of that information is going to be crucial because the Cleveland Browns roster is not a bad roster. They have a solid roster, but it just matters if Deshaun Watson plays or not. You know what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line. Like I said, they can be a 6-win team, low as that, but they could also be an 11-win team. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just say lower, just for the simple fact that, especially with the latest news, I think there's a 23rd person added to this list of people for Deshaun Watson now. He's gonna get suspended for a few games. So let's just say he gets suspended 6 games. They might take anywhere from 4 to 6 L's. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I don't know. You know what?
I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take the under. I'm gonna take if they won 8 last year, so we're gonna give it an 8.5 right now. I'm gonna take the under because Deshaun's gonna get suspended. It's not if, it's how many games. Because the NFL has shown us time and time again, they rather they're not worried about getting it right. They're worried about not looking bad. And so I just don't see them not suspending him and then taking on the backlash of anybody who comes out and complains about the allegations, right? You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't indicted on any of those charges, but somebody's gonna come out about the allegations. He's gonna be considered guilty in the court of opinion. And so the NFL is not. I just don't see a way that they don't suspend him. So if it's 6 games or is it 10 games, or do they go full-fledged off the reservation and suspend him for a year? You know, I don't know. But I think all those options are more likely than him not being suspended at all. And if he misses any game, if he misses any time at all, then I don't see how they win this division. I don't see how they make the playoffs. He hasn't played football for 2 years. He's on a new team with some new pieces, and Amari Cooper, who's there as well. So that offense is still revamped. So they still need time to just play in jail so that hopefully they can even hit a stride the second half of the season. So if he's suspended for 6, 8, or 10 games the first half of the season, that season's shot. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see it all. Like, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, and there's probably some of y'all in here, somebody somewhere, somebody's got to cheer for him. So the Deshaun Watson play, it wasn't for this year. Now, next year, I think, because by then, next year, the Watson stuff is officially over and dead. Whatever's the outcome, whatever the punishment, it's all going to be handled this year. So now next year and the years going forward is where you make that push with that roster. But for this year, I just don't think you can count on or bet or bank on them being a difference maker, like I said, without having a starting quarterback on the roster. Because Baker ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? Unless Baker backs down, I don't know why he would. Baker ain't playing, and Deshaun is going to be suspended whenever it comes out.
The only reason I thought that I think they could still win a decent amount of games is because I still think that their run game is going to be really good, and I still think Nick Chubb is that guy. You know what I'm saying?
No,
they brought Jadeveon Clowney back. They still got a solid defense and a good defensive roster. So, worst case scenario, they can still run that ball and win some of those games. And last year, I felt like Kellen, what is his name? Kellen something.
Kellen Moore? No, Kellen not Kellen. It wouldn't be Kellen.
What was the guy that came in after when Baker Mayfield was hurt? You know, so he maybe started one games. He used to be with the Vikings. But either way.
Yeah.
I still think that he can be solid enough that they can win some games, and they got a good enough roster for them to run that ball and lean on that run game and win. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen them be able to do that. So I don't see them being go ahead.
Like, all right, so Skinny posted their first 4 games. Now, the first 4 games are very winnable games, though. I will give them that. Carolina, that should be a dub. I don't care who's starting quarterback. It should be a dub. Well, you know what? I take that back, because Carolina is very similar to Cleveland, where they've got decent enough pieces everywhere except quarterback. Now, Cleveland's defense is better, but Carolina's defense still has some solid pieces there. But Carolina and Cleveland are actually very, very similar. So that's a toss. That's a 50-50 game. I would pick Cleveland, but that's a game that it's not a for sure at all. Then you've got the Jets, who we just talked about, who should be a much more improved team, but still a young, underdeveloped team as well. That's a 50-50 game. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not going to guarantee them against the Jets. So I think that was in the air. Then they got us They've got us with Pittsburgh. Then they've got Atlanta. So realistically, could they go 4-0? It's possible. I don't think they do. Realistically, I would think if they split those first 2 without Deshaun or Baker, then that's the best you can ask for. More realistic, I think that's a 1-3 start. I think Atlanta's the only win in those first 4 games. Okay. Without Deshaun and without Baker.
All right. I got you. All right, Willie, let's finish up this last division, man. Let's go over to probably the best.
What'd you take? Whoa, what'd you take?
I went under. I still went under 8.5. Under 8.5.
Okay.
Under 8.5. So that's where I went. And I'm just saying that based off. I think Watson will get suspended. So, all right, let's go to AFC West, man. AFC West. This is what most people believe to be the toughest division in the league this year. Now, we've said that a couple of times, and teams just turn out to be whatever they turn out to be. But let's just say that for now. And we're going to start off with the Chiefs, man. The Chiefs, the team that won this particular division with 12 wins last year. Oh, excuse me. Sitting at 10.5. Willie Jack, talk to me. 10.5, what they do? Yeah, this division gonna be tough, boy. This division gonna be tough.
This is the one right here. And you know what? At first, and I'm gonna change it now that I'm thinking about it. I had the under. I had the under at 10 wins just because I just really don't know what to expect or what I'm going to see. But I'm going to change that, man. I'm going to change that. I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the over and give them 11 wins. So I'm going to take the over. I'm going to actually give them 11 wins, 11-6. So, I mean, I still think that they're definitely going to compete. They're still going to be a tough play for anybody that comes through there. Like I said, it's just going to look different. I don't know how that's going to look, but it'd be hard for me to just think that they take that drastic a step back, losing Tyreek Hill, who is one of a kind, who is explosive. He is this, he is that, but even still, Patty losing Tyreek, I don't think is as drastic as Aaron losing Devontae Adams. You see what I'm saying? And I don't think the Packers are going to completely fall off a cliff. So it wouldn't make sense for me to think that about KC. So I changed my mind. I'm gonna go to over. I'm gonna give them just over. I'm gonna give them 11 wins, man. I'm gonna go with 11.
Okay. And give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. 1 second.
Okay.
1 second. Get this together here. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bang that. My bad, y'all. Lights going. All right, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bang the over on that as well at 11 wins. It's gonna be a 10 or 11 win team, so it's gonna be tough with this one as far as figuring out exactly what it's gonna look like. But I'm gonna go 11-2. I do think the loss of Tyreek Hill is gonna hurt a little bit, but in a way, and this might sound weird to say, but in a way, this could possibly help Patrick Mahomes spread the ball around. Now, you may be a little bit harsher on Juju than I am, but I still think Juju is a solid.
Juju wore black and gold. I'm always gonna cheer for Juju. So yeah, I want to do good.
I think Juju is gonna be a solid, especially like a third down receiver for the Chiefs. I think Andy Reid is gonna figure out some things and what to do with him. I think he's gonna figure out some things to do with Valdez Scantling, who is a 4-3 guy that can get down the field. I also think he's gonna figure out some things to do with your boy Scott Moore. You know what I'm saying? So with those three guys, I think that Andy Reid is gonna put some stuff together. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be all right. Now, that move, I don't think is gonna hurt them as much as people think, and they may be okay with that one. The move that I'm more so concerned about is on the defensive end, losing Tyrann Mathieu. You know what I'm saying? Who was the quarterback of that defense. So losing Tyrann Mathieu, I think is going to put them in a position where it's going to be a little rough on the defensive end. We're going to see some stuff on there, but they do got the offense and the offensive mind and the things that they need to actually be put up some of those points. Now it's going to be tough, which makes me think about putting them in their under at their 10 games. You know what I'm saying? The more I talk about it, but still, yeah, I'm putting them at 10, Willie. I'm putting it at 10.
Oh, you going under now?
Let's go 10. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm going to go 10 at under. And that's because of the division, man. The more I think about this division, this is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. With Denver and the Raiders and the Chargers, man, it's going to be a dog fight. So I'm going 10, dog. I'm going 10.
You know, and that's exactly why I initially had the under, because like I said, I the same reason, that division in my mind, or maybe it's just I want it so bad, and not to say I got hate against KC, you know what I'm saying? Like if the Steelers aren't playing, or if Josh Allen ain't playing, or Russ Wilson ain't playing, then yeah, I cheer for Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? It's still the crib. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind seeing them do well as long as they ain't running into their mind. You understand me?
Josh Allen and Russ Wilson not running into them. Huh?
Yo, they're my stepsons. Come on, man. You know that, man. You know, man. They're my stepsons, man. You know, Russell to moved down. You got a wife now. You know what I'm saying? So Josh Allen to moved in his own room. So you know what I'm saying? We still rocking. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But But yeah, so I really do think that the Chargers really make a big push this year and finally kind of overtake kind of Kansas City. I'm also thinking that Denver was kind of the same thing like we were talking about with Cleveland. There's still gonna be some type of like learning period or growing pain period with Denver, and then I think towards the second half of the season, like is where they really kind of settle in and make a real push. But so they may end up giving up a couple early on before they kind of hit their stride. And so because of that, it made me change my mind and give them that 11th win instead of the 10th. But I agree with you though. I was the same way, man. Like with that division, and then kind of seeing how they revamped this offense, I didn't know what to trust it. But I'm gonna go ahead and give them that 11th win. I'm gonna go ahead and get to them.
Gotcha, man. Well, let's move to the next team, man. Let's go. And since we talked about your stepsons, let's go ahead and talk about them, man. First off, Skinny, appreciate it, man. Yeah, got I forget where I got the shirt from, man, but appreciate that, bro. Said Juju gonna go nuts, and he said Ross will be slept on. I didn't even know they brought in Ross. I mean, that must
Yeah,
have slipped under the rug.
no, Justin Ross. Yeah, he was a Justin Ross from was it Clemson? Yeah, Justin Ross from Clemson. He was undrafted. He was another guy. Him, George Pickens, and another receiver as well. But 2 or 3 years ago, they were all freshmen and they were all like studs. Like I think Justin Ross freshman year, he was one of the top receivers for Trevor Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? So, but then same similar to George Pickens, but for different reasons. The last 2 years with injury and just stuff going on, they just hadn't really been the player that they showed they could be. So he went there as a free agent and been looking good in camp. By all accounts, he's making amazing catches and looks to be getting back to the player people thought he was going to be. So yeah, if they hit there, then I mean, yeah, that's definitely a steal.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, James also said Rojo gonna come there and be resurgent. Ronald Jones coming over from the Bucks. Yeah, I mean they gotta do something, man. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man, he's shown it. I mean, it's just, man, they tried. It just wasn't it. You know, so maybe now if he splits time with Ronald Jones, now I don't know if Ronald Jones is going to be much better. He's a bigger body, so maybe he can. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want to bang nobody between the B gats 20 times a game anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, maybe with the combination of Clyde Edwards and Ronald Jones, maybe that will be better though.
Gotcha. All right, let's move on to the Mile High. To Mile High, man. Let's go to Denver, man. Go to Denver, Colorado. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the Broncos. Last season, finished the season with 7 wins. This year, their line is at 10.5, and you know why it's higher. You know what I'm saying? Because they brought your stepson over. You know what I'm saying? They brought your stepson. So at 10.5, I'm gonna go over them. All right. So I got under on the Chiefs. I got them winning 10 games, but I'm gonna go over with the Broncos, and I see them winning 11, maybe even 12. Maybe 12, but 11, I think they can get for sure. And specifically because of Russell Wilson, man. Russell Wilson coming over makes this team a much, much, much better team. They got the weapons on offense. They dodged the bullet with Jerry Jeudy, and everything is clear with him, so he's gonna be good to go once the season starts. I think they have one of the better secondaries in the league, and we'll get a chance to see that with some of the guys that are over there. And I just think that bringing Russell over to this team that's this talented, I think we could possibly see something special. You know what I'm saying? And it instantly made them a Super Bowl contender. So I got Denver actually winning this division, probably sitting at 11 or 12 wins. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be banging against each other all season long. But I got them winning this division, and I'm bringing the over the 10.5 for the Denver Broncos.
Okay. Now this one's gonna be a little weird for me. So I'm gonna take the under because just like I said, I think 10 wins. I take the under because I think it's a 10-win team. Now it won't surprise me if they get to 11, but I think 10 or 11. I think this was a real good line. 10 or 11, I think is right there where they settle. I'm gonna go 10, and it's because of kind of like I'm saying. I just anticipate. I would just think there's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some transition while everybody just settles in and kind of gets acclimated. And then this is a team similar to the Bengals last year. Now I'm not saying they're going to get as hot as the Bengals, but the Bengals didn't. Excuse me. The Bengals won 10 games last year and made it to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, they started playing their very best ball that second half of the season and then carried that through the playoffs. And I think Denver is going to be able to follow like that same track or mold where they may only be a 10-win team, but they're a 10-win team that can really make a run. You know what I'm saying? Because once the second half of the season kicks in, and like I said, they get to playing good ball, Russell can definitely put you over the edge in some of these close games that they haven't been able to keep up with, or that they've been losing here lately. So I think Russ can't be that difference. But I do think, like I said, there's gonna be some growing pains at the beginning. So I'm gonna take the 10 on the front, but I think on the backside though, they can really make a big push, and I expect them to, and I really expect them to be a real contender come playoff time. But I'm gonna take the under at 10 during the regular season.
Okay, and Skinny says Russ makes them respectable instantly. Agree with that.
Thanks.
No problem with that. And then Jarrell says he's underrated at 10 with you, just because it might take a little bit to get him going. So he agrees with his everything.
Yep.
And
For sure.
I can see that, and I wouldn't be surprised at that. You know, and like you said, that was the case for a couple teams. Even with the Rams went through their struggles during the year. The Rams went through their struggles too with their first year with Stafford. So I could possibly see that. But just for the sake of it, I'm still banging it over. And I think
no, I don't think that over is out of reach at all. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad over though.
And another part of it too is it may take him some time to gel, but Russell Wilson is an improvising quarterback anyway. You know what I'm saying? So even things don't gel with timing and things like that. Once he get out of the pocket, that's where he's really dangerous. That's where he becomes dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna stick with mine. I'm gonna stick with it. So, going to the next team, man. Let's go to Las Vegas, man. Let's go to the Las Vegas Raiders. Last year finished the season with 10 wins. Okay, and this year their line is at 8.5. They go down, even though they bring over Devontae Adams and a couple other guys to help out this particular team. Willie Jack, I'm curious to know, man. Where do you stand on them? You go over the 8.5, or how you feel about them?
You know what? And I went back and forth on this one as well. Now I'm thinking if I want to change it last minute. Hold on.
Start talking about it and see how you feel. That's how I do it.
And that's a good point, because this is what I'm thinking, right? I love them bringing over Devontae Adams, and honestly, I really anticipated him and Devontae Adams pick up like they never left. I ain't gonna lie, I really do. They both professionals. They know each other well enough. But like I said, I just think. I really just don't think there's going to be an issue there. I mean, maybe I'm being overly optimistic, but I don't think there's going to be a problem. Darren Waller is going to be back and healthy. He's also looking for a contract as well, so I anticipate they're going to break bread with him as well. But he's going to be coming back as well. And then you still got white boy Renfro, man. Shout out to that boy, one of the coldest, man. I say that with love. You know what I'm saying? I've been talking about Hunter Renfro and his route running for a little bit now, man. So I'm a fan of his game, so I'm not knocking him, but I'm still concerned about this defense. I like Max Crosby. You bring Chandler Jones over in free agency from the Cardinals, and yeah, that's solid, but I still don't like the second level. I don't like the linebacker play. The secondary is up and down. Now, Casey Hayward, am I tripping? No, yeah. Casey Hayward had a phenomenal year for them last year and a bounce back year as well. But still, there's more questions than answers on that defense. And I think everybody else in that division got tremendously better. They got a little better on offense. I think everybody else got better everywhere. I'm gonna take the under. I'm gonna take the under at 8 wins. Yeah. I'm gonna take the under at 8 wins. Now, they could get to 9 wins, but honestly, I think if everything goes perfect for them, that's a 10-win team. Whereas if everything goes perfect for these other 3 teams, those are 13 or 14-win teams. So I just don't think their ceiling is as high just with what they've got. They also got McDaniels coming over first year in the coach, so he's got to install a whole new system. He crapped the bed. I keep trying not to curse. He crapped the bed last time he got the chance to be a head coach when we went to Denver, and he tried to convince everybody that he was smart enough to make Tim Tebow a quarterback. Even fooled Chop for a little bit. Chop won't tell y'all. Chop was big Tim Tebow back then. Y'all don't even know. Chop was riding for Timmy Tebow. We could debate about it.
Look, you ain't finna call me out and not let me explain myself, okay?
Hey, that just lets y'all know how long me and Chop been doing this. We used to debate crazy about Tebow and them Broncos. And bro, that was what, 7 years ago, something like that. Hey, we've been out here. Just so y'all know, we've been out here, man. But I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna take the under and go ahead, Chop.
Go ahead. And I'm gonna let y'all know it hurt my dog heart when Tim Tebow hit that post to my
Come
dog
on,
Thomas.
it was a 3-yard pass. It was a 3-yard slant. Demarius Thomas hit Ike Taylor with a stiff arm, and then we couldn't catch his big ass for 70 yards. And then they went there. Then they got waxed next week by the Patriots. That was supposed to be our year.
Look, man.
I know that was supposed to be the year. Yeah, it was one of our years.
The thing that I used to tell Willie, right, is certain teams that, and it's
8.5 real.
The certain teams that you need certain quarterbacks for, man. It just fit a certain mold. Just like I was trying to explain to y'all about last year with the Eagles, man. The Eagles, and this year with the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Some teams, that year, the Broncos had the best defense in the league that particular year. Had the best defense in the league. And what you wanted to do was not turn the ball over. Let that boy Tebow run that rock, man. Run that rock, throw it about 10 times a game. He don't need to throw it a lot. And they won the game. They won them a playoff game because they did that, man. If they'd have brought the other boy in there, they'd have been trying to pass the ball, turning the ball over. They'd have put the defense in bad position, man. No, they played clock possession football, and Tebow was the quarterback for them. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, no, they got that one, man. Well, Ryan Clark had to miss that game at the last minute because he found out he had sickle cell. He lost like 40. Crazy. So he was out. You know what I'm saying? We was out. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Clark. And you know what I'm saying? We needed him, bro. Yeah, the second man, we needed him.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go over 2, man. Well, not over 2. You said under. I'm gonna go over. And you made a lot of good points, Willie. You almost sold me for a minute. But I do think that this offense is going to be something. I think they're going to develop into something special. And the reason why is because of Devontae Adams. You know what I'm saying? So what we seen last year a lot of is Hunter Renfrow and them trying to force the ball to Darren Waller. You know what I'm saying? Hunter Renfrow was able to get off, not taking anything away from him, but most of the team's attention defensively on the offense was going towards Darren Waller. You know what I'm saying? Most of the team's attention was going towards Darren Waller, and Hunter Renfrow was doing his thing. Not saying he could do his thing by himself anyway, but still, they just opened things up more. This time, you can't put all your attention on Darren Waller. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do, you got a legit number 1 receiver over there in Devontae Adams that's going to do his thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's going to take some pressure off of Darren Waller, and both of them going to be able to eat. And then you still got Hunter Renfrow working in the middle. So I think that's going to be special. And then ultimately, I still don't think Josh Jacobs is a bad running back. I think he's solid. I don't think he's a bad running back. So this could possibly open up some things for him. You know what I'm saying? We could see him having another solid season, more of a season like he had his rookie year. Where we see him rushing over 1,000, maybe 1,200 yards on the season. You know what I'm saying? If everything goes right for this offense. So I'm going over because I could see them getting 9 games in this 9-10 games in this particular division. You know, and I think this is going to be a division where I'm just going to spoiler alert. I don't see any team in this division winning under 9 games. So I'm going to just put that out there right now. So I got Las Vegas over in this one, man, because I think this offense is going to be special. And then the pass rush, I think, is going to be pretty solid, too, when you throw in Chandler Jones on the other side of Max Crosby. So I want to see what this team looks like. And I'm anxious to see him, man. I want to see some improvement for sure.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So, all right, bring us home.
Bring us home, man. I'm bringing us home with Los Angeles, man. And we talking about the second team in Los Angeles, second best team. We talking about our little brothers. we talking about the team that we let borrow our stadium sometime. You know, the JV LA team. You know what I'm saying? We talking about the Los Angeles the JV LA team. You know, we do it like that. We the only team they can have a JV, you know what I'm saying? And our JV is the LA team, you know what I'm saying? LA Chargers. But no, in all seriousness, man, the Chargers, they come in this year, man. They won 9 games last year. And this year, their over and under is at 10.5. So, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now I'm going under, okay? I'm going to go under. And it's because it's the Chargers. No other reason other than it's the Chargers. I have no other reason. You know what I'm saying? I sat and watched last year the Chargers charger all season long. You know what I'm saying? They got good players, and I'm standing on it, Willie. I think they got a guy, but I think the head coach couldn't, or the head coach couldn't get out of his way. You know, and Staley he couldn't get out of his own way. And it was just mistakes at times that was costing them games, but we would constantly see them be in these games. You know what I mean? Um, I do like the moves that they made, you know what I'm saying, and bringing over Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson. I think that's gonna be a help to that defense. But they have to stay healthy, man. They got to stay healthy. They got to do their thing, and the Chargers can't charge her. If the Chargers don't charge her, yeah, I can see them going over. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I don't. Especially the line at 10.5. I'm gonna go under with the Chargers at 10.5. Man, I see them getting 9 games, 9 maybe 10 possible games in this particular division. Because they're really solid offensively. They brought in some good pieces defensively. Um, but I got Denver winning this division, and the Chargers, man, they just got to keep from charging. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we looking
Man,
at.
yeah, that's a lot, bro. Me and you see the Chargers way different. We did the rankings. We found that out.
Right,
I'm going
right.
to over. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like when I actually look at it, because I think when Russfield first got there, my first initial thing was like, oh yeah, man, he won the division. I don't think so. Like I said, I think they're gonna hit their stride the second half of the season. I think the Chargers win that division, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I think the Chargers are the only team that I feel comfortable banging the over. Because Kansas City I had under initially. Denver I had under. The Raiders I was confirmed was under. Well, I didn't think they may have went over and won 9 games, but I don't see them at all being a real life threat to threaten 12, 11, 12, 13 wins. I don't even see that in their possibility. The Chargers are the only team that I feel comfortable or confident that that's an 11 win, that they're a solid 11 win team, more so than even Kansas City. And so I think everything that happened to them last year is what makes them is going to make them so much more dangerous this year, because now they were still a young team. Justin Herbert was second year last year. So, and also their coach, they had a young quarterback and a young coach. So I think both of them now get to look back and learn from those mistakes. That coach has got to learn from the over-aggressive play call, getting it stuck in his own head, letting his ego make him make bad coaching decisions. So now he's got to learn from that. Justin Herbert, he gets to learn as well. Man, sometimes I just got to take what they give me. I can't always hold on to it and wait to make a play. I can't, you know what I'm saying? So I think the things that went wrong last year make them that much better and that much smarter this year. And I love the offensive additions, specifically what they did to that defense. J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack combined with we already have Joey Bosa and Derwin James, I really think that this team is in position to be. Now I don't know what they ranked in deep. I don't know what they ranked defensively last year. If I had to guess, I think they were middle of the pack. If I had to guess, I'd say somewhere between 14 and 18. I think those 2 additions on defense, assuming everybody's going to be healthy, of course, you know, that's how we have to assume.
Right.
I don't see the top 10 defense, and I think it's a top 10 defense in a division where it can be argued the best team in that division is going to take a half step back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they're going to completely fall off the cliff, is talking about Kansas City, but I think they took a half step back. You know what I'm saying? Or even if they didn't take a full step back, they definitely didn't take a step forward. And if you're not going forward, then you might as well be going backwards. You see what I'm saying? So I think they make up ground on Kansas City by Kansas City's just roster moves or how they shake out. So they already gained ground on Kansas City there. Losing Tyreek makes them even with Kansas City. And then you add J.C. Jackson, a top 2 corner in the league, if we're just talking about last year. You add Khalil Mack, over the last 5 years has been a top 5 edge defender in this league. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just that alone, I think, gives them the edge, and I think they can comfortably win 11 or 12 games and really win this division. Now, when it's all said and done and we get the crunch time and, you know, so we get the clutch time and we get the playoffs, I think that's where Russell Wilson and Denver really hits their stride and you know what I mean, and really gives them a run for their money if they meet each other in the playoffs. But regular season, out of all these teams, that's the only one I feel confident to go ahead and put my money on over for sure.
Okay.
Jarrell said he's taking the under. They always leave you They always leave you wanting more. Like, dang, that was close. No, and that's fair, but that's what I'm saying. I think they get to learn from these are a young coach and a young quarterback. Like, these guys ain't done playing. These aren't like veterans, 12-year experienced coach and an 8-year experienced quarterback where they kind of setting their plays. These guys were both in their second year last year. Both these guys are super young. Both of them are still learning. So I think they both get better. You know what I'm saying? When you go back and look at when that coach went back and watched every game that they played and won or lost last year, and he looks at the mistakes he made, and now that he's not fired up in the moment, his ego's not talking to him, and he's just watching the game, he's going to be like, why wouldn't I kick that field goal? Why would I go for it on 4th and 6 on my own 35? You know what I'm saying? So, like, he's going to see his own mistakes. Now, if he makes the same mistakes, now he's just an idiot and he don't need that job. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that he's just like everybody else. He's going to see what he did wrong, realize where he could be better, and then he's going to grow and be better for that. And so that's why I think, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to trap them in that moment because of the rookie or young mistakes they made last year.
Understood.
Yeah.
So, hey, I get you. I feel you. You know, understand where you're coming from. But, hey, you know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what we bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? We're going to bring it to you how we feel, what we know, you know what I'm saying, to the best of our ability. You know what I'm saying? We're going to drop that knowledge on you. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, that wraps up the AFC today. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. And we're gonna keep saying it. We close, y'all. So stay tuned with us.
Yeah, man.
Stay tuned us. We very, very close, man. Just few kinks, few things, you know what I'm saying? I need to get my screwdriver, twist a couple things, you know what I'm saying? Adjust a couple things. Hey, and we're gonna make it work, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, stay with us, man. We got something coming for y'all. Just stay tuned, man. Something new. So, just appreciate y'all for joining in, man. Y'all was live today, man. Y'all was moving and grooving, man.
Hey, we appreciate it.
We went a little long today again, man. We call ourselves talking about we're gonna shorten it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying, so we can stay short.
We started a little late too, though. We started a little late, in fairness.
No, but we still went longer than we normally go. I looked at it.
Yeah, it's 9:30. Yeah. We was like, hey, you know what? Hey, the chat was live, man. Hey, the chat was live. Here's what it is, man. Hey, this is what we here for sure.
Facts. Well, Willie Jack, man, that's pretty much all I got, man. Thank y'all again. Willie, bring us home, man. Let them know.
Yeah, hey, for sure, man. Hey, just like you said, man. Appreciate all the love today, man. All the engagement, great show, man. Shout out to my dog, man, Jarrell in the building, man. That's day one game right there, man. He was the first one in, he the last one out, man. That's a hard working man right there, boy. I tell you what. Her first one in, the last one out. You know, he sound like Russell Wilson, don't he? Shout out to my dog Skinny, man. Shout out to Real Deal STL Sports, man. Appreciate Skinny for breaking that news. He broke it for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure people seen it in other places. I got the news from Real Deal STL Sports. Y'all tap in if y'all don't know, man. That Marion Barber had passed away, man. Condolences to his family, man. Same thing with Jeff Gladney. Condolences to his family as well. Shout out to my dog DV in the building. Twan was in this thing getting active, man, getting loose. Real quick, man, the family came through, the support system. Shout out to y'all, man. My little sister, my mom, my niece and nephew, you know what I'm saying? Everybody came through and hollered at me. My little cousin came through and hollered at me, man. So appreciate all my folks, man. Who else in here? I'm trying to get you, man. I ain't trying to drag it out too long. I'm trying to get you. Hey, you know, hey, I'm sorry.
TJ, we gotta get TJ a shout out, man.
There we go, TJ. I was looking for him too. I was like, I knew it was somebody else who was in there getting real loose, man. So, hey, shout out to TJ as well, man. So, appreciate you coming through and holler at us, man. And you know what, man? I think my dog Skinny brought TJ in, man. I seen his name get tagged by Skinny. Then hey, he popped in like, hey, man, what I miss? Hey, we appreciate you jumping right in, man, and rocking with your dogs. Hey, everybody else, man. Hey, if I forgot to say your name, you already know what's going on, man. Charge to my head, man. Don't charge to my heart. You know I was thinking about you. Other than that, man, hey, we will be right back, man. Wednesdays at 7 o'clock, man. Y'all know what's going on. There's some technical difficulties today. You know what I'm saying? We run a little late, but it's all good. But we here though. But we here though. You know what I'm saying? Wednesdays at 7, come through and holler at your dogs, man. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate all the support. I say the same thing every time because we mean it, man. We really appreciate all the support, man. It really means a lot to us, man. We love when we get to get in here and talk ball, man. Everybody's engaging in the chat, man. Everybody was live, man, going back and forth, man, talking and chopping it up with us, man. That's what we're here for, man. So, hey, a real football platform, man, for real football fanatics, man. People who can't do nothing but eat, breathe, and sleep football, man. This is your place. This is your home. You know somebody just like you, bring them in. My dog, Brother Red, just dropped in, man. We wrapping up, big dog. You missed a good one today. But shout out to my dog, Brother Red, Joseph Kenny, man. No Vultures, the podcast. Holla, tap in with my dog, man. It's a wide range of things going on over there, man. He gets around all the sports. Man, he's big into hip hop and music as well, man. So it's a lot of good things over there. Hey, Joseph, man, you know what I'm saying? Joseph, a boxing fan like me. We got Monster in the way and Daenerys running it back. It's like a weird day, like Tuesday. They running that back, man. So ready to see how your boy Monster looks this go around, man. We got Devin Haney and Cambosis this weekend. You better watch that one as well. Shout out to my dog Joseph Kenny, man, brother Red, no votes of the podcast for sure. Hey, other than that, hey, Juice just jumped back in this thing. What's going on, my boy? We wrapping it up. Good night, but we appreciate you coming back through and holler at your dog for sure, man. Wednesday at 7 o'clock, holler at your dogs, man. We will be back. Topic 2 be announced. Hey, we will holler at y'all, man. Peace.